This weather report is brought to you by Washington State Department of Licensing. We're looking at even hotter temperatures today. Expect highs in the low 90s and clear sunny skies. Similar conditions in store for the rest of the week and into the weekend. It's currently 60 in downtown Seattle. Did you know most people don't have to go into the driver's license office? Now you can renew and update your license online at dol.wa.gov. Save the trip, skip the line, save time, and go online instead. Just log on to dol.wa.gov. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
Get a handle on that kid. It is 5:46. I'm Danny Bonaducci. This is KZOK. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
I'm well. I like your pink scarf.
Well,
very
thank
pretty.
you.
Very pretty. Very feminine.
Oh.
Yeah. Yours too.
Thank you.
You're
I appreciate
welcome.
that.
How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. I thought of you yesterday. I was at Home Depot, where I'm now living. Apparently, I'm the handiest man in the whole wide
You're
world.
the mayor of Home Depot?
Yeah, I am the mayor. Thank you, of Home Depot. So I went by there to buy a duct, and that's what I found out. You know, duct tape isn't called duct tape; it's called duct tape. So you
Yeah.
guys all knew that.
No ducks were harmed in the making of duct tape.
So everybody was all aware that it's pronounced duct with a T.
Yeah.
Yeah.
D-U-C-T.
Yeah, didn't know that. So when I kept asking for the, no wonder the guy thought I was being funny because he listens to this show, Raymond. Although I don't know if Raymond listens to this hour, but he thought I was amusing. But I bought a duck. No, well, yeah, maybe I don't know. You don't know what I bought. I bought a duct, and I wanted to connect it to another duct because I wanted it to be longer because it can only be about 4 feet from the window, and it's not cooling off. I bought this air conditioner thing. It's not cooling off where I wanted to cool off. So I bought another duct to connect to the last duct. And I said, "How do you connect these things?" And he said, "Duct tape." And I said, "You swear to God?" And he totally thought I was kidding. He thought, well, no one's as inept as this guy's appearing to be. This must be some kind of gag that Mr. Dan Bonaducci is pulling on the Home Depot employees. So we all had a lot of fun with how stupid I am.
Did Raymond quack at you at any point?
He did not quack. There was no quacking. He quacked up because I'm hysterical. So anyway, I'm walking around looking for the ducks, which, by the way, are right at the checkout line. And that makes sense because they're for these air conditioner things, and it's 1,000 degrees out.
Yeah.
So I'm walking around the store and looking for ducts.
And duct tape.
Yeah, and duct. Oh, that's easier. Duct tape, not duct. That's not that easy. So I'm walking around. There's a guy somewhere around your age
Yeah.
with a little girl, somewhere around Jellybean's age.
Oh, okay.
And so I go, home shopping at Home Depot. Who knows what they're getting? But it's good, clean fun. Father and daughter. They're going to build something. They're going to fix something. Who knows what they're going to do? But they're going to do it together. It's pretty awesome.
That is awesome.
And that's when the girl goes, I don't have the lungs to continue to do what that girl did. She went out of her mind.
Yeah.
Out of her mind. She fell on the floor. She screamed and yelled. She was horrible. if I don't want to say what he should have done, but if he did, I'd have gone, but
gosh.
he was he looked flummoxed. He looked like I don't know what to do, and he took to kind of ignoring her and letting this play out, letting her run out of steam, I guess was the philosophy. The problem with that is she wasn't.
Yeah.
She was made of steam. She was all steam. She was a Stanley steamer. I don't know why she'd be that, but she was. And she was just going crazy. And I felt almost no compassion for the guy. And here's why, and you can help me out on this.
Yeah.
That should be gone. That's 3. That's not 7.
Right, yeah. I mean, there's still every now and again, but generally not in public, more so at home. because the kid thinks they can control you better at home.
But so over the top ballistics that I either want something or something made me mad still happens because I was going to go kick this guy in the head.
It happens every now and again, and especially if Jelly Bean's like really tired or really hungry, which is stuff as a parent you should be in better control of. You should see the signs of. But just give that kid the Reese's Pieces or whatever she was asking for. Get out of the store and deal with it afterwards.
So okay, well that's not what he did.
No, he just let her scream.
He was letting her scream, and I was waiting to let's play this out. And then I said, I have things to do, which I don't. I just made it up so I wasn't going to be part of that because I had seen enough of that. So yesterday, I think it was on Monday, I saw a news report that said, hey, man, they never really say, hey, man. That's me interpreting the news. Hey, man, if you have old neighbors, you should check on them because it's really hot. Well, I did, and it's weird.
Shocking.
It's weird because it's weird, or it's weird because you made it weird?
No, it's super weird because it's weird.
Okay.
You told us you had two different sets. One were elderly, and the other were sort of medium old.
Right.
Which ones did you check on?
Both of them. They're on both sides. I do what the TV says. That's how I live my life.
Yeah, as well
And
you
is there
should.
a
TV
restraining order out
boxes
against you?
and cereal and stuff like that. No, there's not. The first guy, like when I saw his face, because I thought he was older because he has silver hair.
Yeah.
And but Steve Slayton has silver hair.
He does,
We're
yeah.
in the same ballpark of age. I wouldn't go check on Slayton. Are you okay today?
Right. And did you say, are you okay? Or did you say, is there anything that you guys need? It's really hot out.
I'm trying to think now. I knocked on the door. Okay, when I saw his face and realized he was much younger, I didn't have the speed to go, hey, man, do you have a hammer? I need a hammer.
Cup of sugar,
Get
please.
a cup of hammers, whatever you got to get
Whatever.
me out of this jam. And I said, I said whatever I said, and he looked. He looked at me like I was a super weirdo. The next neighbor, who's 100,
Yeah.
and I actually thought about this because they have a banger on their door. They don't have a
Okay.
doorbell; they have a brass banger. It's really annoying, man.
Knocker.
From the one time I've ever been there, I remember. Oh yeah, they have this crazy knocker banger thing that makes a lot of noise. And the one time I've ever been to this house, it took them forever. Boy, I just realized I'm the greatest neighbor ever. Ask me why I ever went to their house before.
Why'd you go to their house before?
To give them Sherry's berries.
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
That's so sweet.
I know. I love me. So I went over. Now, I don't know if the lady remembers because I gave them to the lady, but she's 100. She's the right neighbor to check on because they're old. And so I knocked with the knocker, and she came out, and I said, I just was straight up front with her because I just felt so awkward. And the thing with my other neighbor, who by the way has a British accent, so when he goes, "Oh, neighbor, you're here," it just seems like you're the queen. Okay, I hate you.
The 40-year-old guy?
He's got to be 60.
Yeah.
But that's not old enough. I'm 58. That's too young for me to go help you.
And do you think that he maybe saw the same news report, so he knows what you're doing?
Oh,
You
I
don't-
wasn't. I didn't completely cover my tracks. I just made it not as important. Like, can you have a cup of sugar? Wow, it gets hot in here. Are you old? You don't seem that old. I better go. Something to that effect. Her, I knocked on the door, bang, 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 and I thought this is uncool. It's not that big of a house, but I was there with the Sherry's berries, and I just assumed they weren't home because they didn't come to the door, no matter how hard I banged away. So I did the same thing here, and I said, okay, I'm leaving. So I go to, and it's been forever. It's been 3 minutes of standing in front of that door. Yeah. So then I walked down the street, and as I walked down the street, I hear, which you could think are their old bones, but they're not. It's the door unlocking. So I turned around and I went back, and I was just straight up with her. I said, I was watching the news the other day, and it said, it's so hot, maybe you should go and check out your neighbors.
Yeah.
Well, I could tell by her face I shouldn't have said check out the neighbors. But she was okay about it, but this was different. One guy was way too young and healthy for me to be there. The lady, this might actually happen to her. I could go in there and find that her dogs have eaten her feet. I don't know. I mean,
She
who
needs
knows?
your help.
She does. Well, she didn't yet, but I would rescue her, I think.
Yeah.
So that was my day with running around to neighbors, and it was okay, and I feel really good about it now. Especially I forget what the occasion was, but giving a 85-year-old woman Sherry's berries for no reason. I mean, we didn't even.
You didn't?
No.
Not that time?
No. So I feel very good about myself. And just to wrap things up, I do not feel good about my hair.
Why not?
No?
Because as a lot of you know, I shave my head.
Yeah.
And I didn't think about this. I wear headphones, and they press down, so I have this weird stripe. And then even when I fluff it up, and there's not a lot of hair to fluff, there's like a horn in the back.
Oh.
Yeah, can you see it? Right there.
Oh yeah, no, I can't say
Totally.
that.
I'm not. You thought I was kidding, didn't you?
So like you're pushing everything to the middle, making kind of a little baby faux hawk.
No. This is what it's doing. I've brushed it to make it stop doing that all morning long. That even has wax in it, and it won't. It's the crazy horn. It's because your daughter likes unicorns so much.
News is brought to you by Car Pros Renting Kia. Firefighters have been battling a 3-alarm fire at a Kent strip mall this morning. Crews were called to an auto repair shop on Central Avenue South at Meeker Street just before 3 a.m. The fire was fought defensively because the flames were too fierce for the crews to go inside. Finally, the roof collapsed, allowing them to battle the blaze from the inside out as well. They said that this started in an auto shop, but may have burned the pawn shop as well. And thankfully, no injuries are being reported.
Oh, but all that cool stuff in pawn shops. You ever go
Yeah.
to a pawn shop?
Oh, yeah.
That's some of the coolest stuff ever. Once
It
you
really
get
is.
past all the musical instruments, thinking, oh, that guy's dreams were dashed.
Yeah.
Authorities say they've arrested a Southwest Airlines employee accused of voyeurism at SeaTac Airport. 25-year-old Nicholas Williams appeared in King County Court this week with bail being set at $90,000. He was additionally ordered not to have contact with children. Prosecutors are saying that he put a camera in a bathroom near the gates that children would sometimes use on their own, as opposed to with parents because it's right next to the gate. Southwest Airlines said in a statement that they are working with the authorities as they investigate the accusation involving their employee.
Super weird.
Yeah.
You know, I was about to make 4 stellar jokes.
Really?
And then she said kids.
Yeah.
And boy, that takes the comedy right out of it.
Police in Spokane have shared body camera image of a suspect who tried to hide from officers. They said he hid in a dryer, according to police.
Did they turn it on? Like just for fun before you arrest the guy? Give him a little fluff
See,
cycle.
in my head, it's out in some field somewhere. I never even thought about that. They should totally turn it on.
Yeah.
They said the adult version of hide and seek never turns out well for anyone. What is depicted on this body camera footage is the lengths that some suspects will go to avoid the police.
Yeah.
So this was inside a
Hiding
home.
places.
And Danny knows a little bit about
Taking her
that.
pants off. Who knows what we could do.
They said they knew he was in the house. They said, come out of there. And he wouldn't. They sent in a dog to sniff him out, and they found the canine found him in the dryer.
Oh, he had to put a couple of lint sheets in there. Then he would have been fine. Static sheets.
That might have done it. I don't
Yeah,
know.
the dog wouldn't find him.
Nike announced it will raise salaries for more than 7,000 employees and change how it awards annual bonuses to its global staff.
Including those in Cambodia.
They said global.
All right, there you go. So that 12-year-old Cambodian girl is going to have a little spending cash.
This was in an attempt to address concerns about pay equity and corporate culture. The company decided to overhaul its compensation practices after conducting an internal review about those pay practices. Nike said about 10% of its employees, both men and women, will receive adjustments to their pay to ensure equal and competitive compensation. So they took a look at who was making what and realized there's a lot of inequity. They did not address exactly who. I'm not saying that people in those foreign countries who are making 10 cents a day are going to start earning minimum wage.
No, but
by
they might go
Seattle
up to 20
standards.
cents a day.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Still,
Yeah.
you never hear of that. Like a major company coming out and saying, hey, we did our own study and it turns out we should pay you more.
Yep.
Like we've just decided on our own to pay you more.
I'll tell you right now, we live in a decade of everybody is going to set things right on their own. Next thing you know, it's all over Facebook. Hey, Nike doesn't pay everybody. Saying women make less than men, and then there's a riot in the street. I think these people headed this off at the pass. And by the way, if now it is all that it appears, good on them. Nice job.
An Oregon woman says she returned to her home and found an unusual surprise: a mountain lion taking a nap on her couch.
Oh, I thought you were going to say dump. Which would be rude.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, the cougar was.
Did she fight it?
No, she took
Oh, she's
pictures.
got to fight it. What?
It was just napping. It was just hanging out. It stayed at her house for about 6 hours, napping, enjoying the couch.
Not everybody fights.
No,
cougars.
it's just you?
Ladies in the I don't know, but I'm just going to go. That lady in the house didn't fight a cougar.
And she took a lot of images of this. She said she tried to wake the feline up and then gaze lovingly into her eyes to try to communicate with the feline.
Oh, jeez.
She said it was amazing. I just gazed lovingly.
How is this
And
woman
she
still
did it
alive
back.
to say any of this?
Yeah, the cat, I think, was hot and
Well, we all thought the cougar was hot.
Yeah, for sure.
was just relaxing. I said about 6 hours, she's like, okay, I need this cat to leave my house. This is
That
getting
cat was
crazy.
on the couch for 6 hours?
Yep.
Wow.
This story is unbelievable. Did somebody trank the cat and then it just wandered into her house? Because I don't understand how else this would happen.
Like I said, I think it's the heat, that the cat was walking around the backyard and got hot and decided, said it walked through the back door, and she's got a lot of shrubs, greenery, plants, so
Yeah.
probably didn't realize it was indoors. I was like, ooh, that couch looks comfy.
And the part that she's not dead.
Yeah.
But I don't think the cougar was going to kill her. It was going to maul her. I think she'd survive it.
Sure.
But the part that it laid on the couch for 6 hours, I didn't think those things ever laid anywhere. I thought they were constantly on the move.
Right. And even after she tried to awake it.
With a loving gaze.
Well, the loving gaze didn't work, so she eventually used a drum to encourage the lion to exit the home, and she closed the door behind it.
That's another tact.
Man, maybe you could take a cougar, Danny. Now that, I
Oh,
mean, if this
no.
old woman can do
Is
it,
she
why
old?
can't you?
No,
All right, well, if
I'm
this woman
saying
can
I
do it.
saw pictures, and this is a giant cat.
But it didn't kill her.
No,
Didn't even
I'm not saying
maul
they
her.
all want to kill you, but if you try to fight it, it will.
I don't know.
This
you
seems
could
like
take
an
it.
important use of this time.
I think you could take it,
Nobody's
Danny.
fighting any cougars.
Live poultry in backyard flocks have been linked to several multi-state outbreaks of salmonella, and the CDC has said, "What is wrong with you people?"
What do you
They
mean?
said
do you
you
mean, people?
can't cuddle chickens, and we're getting a little tired of telling you.
But that's the thing. You can't cuddle chickens. You can't cuddle parrots. You can't cuddle fish. I mean, all my pets are cuddleable. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would never have a pet I could not spoon with. Who can spoon with a chicken?
Well, a lot of people have backyard chicken coops.
Yeah.
It's very, very popular. And they said a lot of people have been getting sick. Only 6 states are not affected. North Dakota, South Dakota, Virginia, New Jersey, Maryland, Delaware. Everybody else has had salmonella infections that have come from their own chickens.
From snuggling or being too close in proximity to your chicken.
Because some think, oh, that's the chick. It's so cute. Everybody just pick up the chick. They said chicks, too, can have salmonella.
Yeah.
Paul.
Well, wash your hands before and after if you're going to handle
Did you know
any
that?
live poultry.
From
Yeah.
your chickens that you could get salmonella just from touching the chicks?
Of course, yeah. And
Wow.
you can spread bacteria to them as well.
Yeah, but they're chickens. Who cares? I'm a person. I rule the roost, so to speak.
You went from wanting to spoon with it to who cares if it dies?
It's a
This is a
chicken.
pretty quick turnaround.
It's not. Nothing has changed. I can't spoon with it, so I don't care what happens to it.
Okay.
But it's an investment for many people, Paul included.
Sure, yeah. Not a good one. It's a pretty terrible investment.
Are you making a lot of money on your return?
No.
Yeah, it's a
No, it's an investment, meaning you wouldn't want to kill your chicken because you want it to lay eggs and then you eventually eat it.
Sure, yeah.
So you wouldn't want to give it diseases because then you're killing your own
I agree with
food
that.
source.
I do not want to give diseases to my chicken,
No,
nor do
you're-
I want to receive diseases from my chicken.
well stated.
The world's highest man-made waterfall is finished and likely not where you would expect it to be.
Finland. You just said it was Finnish. Didn't she say that? Did I, hear
did
that
not-
wrong?
I
not
did
listen.
say it's finished.
Oh, I see.
Finished, not finish. China. A skyscraper in Yang City, China, now holds the record for the world's highest man-made waterfall. 350 feet tall, and it is on the side of a 397-foot tall building smack dab in the middle of the city.
Okay, that's awesome. I've seen some of what China is doing with building up their scenes like Chengdu and places like Beijing, and they're into the pomp and circumstance, man.
Yeah.
And
Indeed.
I kind of like it, to be honest with you.
This thing is really cool. The problem is it costs $117 an hour to run the waterfall.
117.
Yes, an hour. And
You're a whole country. Pay it.
well, a lot of people say, what a waste of water. That
Yeah, I can see that part.
it's
Is the water not reused? I mean, you would think it
No,
would
you
go
don't-
down and then go back up.
It not less than 80% of it goes back up.
Really?
It is recycled from an underground storage system, but a lot of critics say this is a waste of resources, that they're not getting enough of the water back recycled. Plus, why are you spending $117 an hour? And other people say, because it's flipping cool.
That's what
Yeah.
I say, to
I
be
bet it
honest with
looks
you.
awesome.
I remember when Clinton's inauguration, they paid $1 million just for bands and some lighting show, and everybody flipped out, and they said, totally worth it. Why are we America if we can't do stuff like that?
Well, the police often post to social media now. a lot of different police departments post on Facebook, and it's a way of humanizing them and a way of hopefully getting criminals not to do stupid things because they get their face plastered on social media. Well, one police department say they've classified one incident as something you don't see every day. And then they posted the picture of two men on a motorcycle, one of whom is holding a box containing an aquarium that they had just stolen.
Is there fish in it?
No, it was in a box. So the men go to a pet store. They go inside. They steal a giant aquarium. So this is 4 feet wide,
Yeah.
the 2 or 3 feet tall. They run outside and then speed away on a motorcycle. Well, cops,
Not a van.
nope,
No, motorcycle.
motorcycle. Cops see them, start to give chase.
And they say there's something fishy here. And I say, oh, you funny coppers.
Well, then they decide, okay, this is not working well. They drop the aquarium, smashing it. They flee on foot. They lost track of them for a minute until the police spotted a nervous-looking man behind a home. He began to furiously prune a tree with his bare hands, telling police, "I'm just doing yard work."
Yeah.
Nothing to see here.
Yep,
I'm just doing yard work
with my hands.
with my bare hands.
They were both taken into custody and booked on burglary charges.
And the thing that makes that so interesting is the motorcycle getaway.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, why'd you pick that? I don't understand at all why you went that direction.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't imagine getting a van. Like, go rent a U-Haul. It's like $20. Then go steal your aquarium. Why am I trying to help the criminals?
I don't know.
Or steal a van. You know, you
There
have
you
to
go.
rent a van.
Right.
Although I don't know how to steal a car. Do you?
No, I don't know how to steal
It's
a
so
car.
weird in the movies. They just go, and a little spark happens, and then they got a brand new Lexus.
I don't think it's quite that
I don't
easy.
think it's like that. I want to know. I would do it all the time just for fun.
Me too.
A prison guard named Zaquana Hampton is in big trouble, finding herself on the other side of the law after she got caught smuggling 12 ounces of weed inside a Subway sandwich.
Oh, wow.
Well, she had the Subway sandwich. It was found to have marijuana duct taped,
Aha, I recognize that word.
covered with lettuce and onions. So she tried to go through the prison inspection system because everybody has to, guards, lawyers, whoever. And they said, wow, this is a really stinky Subway sandwich. Why do you have so many onions on here? Well, she thought if she had enough onions, they wouldn't smell the weed.
Right. The other guy thought if he had enough fabric softener, he wouldn't get smelled out by the dog.
Right.
People are wrong about how much they stink.
Well, she finally confessed, yes, I was trying to bring it in to give to a prisoner, a guy inside who she says was threatening her, but the
Yeah.
authorities don't really believe her.
I don't believe her at all.
They said employees are constantly smuggling drugs, cell phone, and other contraband into Georgia's correctional facility, and it is an ongoing challenge.
You know, my grasp of morality is very loose because I think I would do that.
Oh,
Totally.
absolutely.
Now, I would not give drugs to an axe murderer. That'd be like a burglar,
You
a
wouldn't
second
give-
story man.
You wouldn't give drugs to an axe murderer.
No, I have the line I won't cross there, Paul.
Oh, who's already in prison? Not like he's out and you're just giving him drugs.
No,
Are you
that
following this story? I think Danny is a prison guard.
Yeah, right.
So
Right.
the guy
He's giving
inside,
drugs. Right.
I'm
is,
not
as
giving
long
drugs.
as he is a hatchet murderer, not an axe murderer, Danny will give him the
No,
contraband.
I don't think any kind of murderer at all. I don't think he's going to give
Oh
drugs to
no,
any
maybe
murderer.
a murderer.
He
Oh,
said
really?
axe
You killed
murderer.
one guy, and it turns out he was a total ass, stole your money in a business thing, and you killed him. I'll still give you some weed.
All right.
A newly married couple were posing for sunset photos on Maryland's eastern shore when they heard something terrible. The screech of tires and a car crash. They said even though they were doing their after wedding photos, they sprang into action. He's a Marine captain, and he said sorry, honey, I've got to go help. So he ran away, ran to the scene of the accident. They said it was horrific. They were able to knock out the windows as they waited for EMTs to arrive. They were able to help everybody inside, and he was covered in blood and glass, and they said The people inside were probably thinking, these are the best dressed EMTs ever.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, God bless them.
Yeah.
And a captain's not nothing. To get to be a captain's a thing.
And they said then they went back to the wedding. He put a different shirt on. And the best man said he threw out his prepared speech, instead said, if Andrew would go out of his way to protect a stranger, just imagine what he'll do for you for the rest of your life.
Aw. So sweet.
Oh, it was a nice story.
The story was nice, and then his best friend wrecked it.
Why?
Yeah.
Imagine what he'll do for you. What? He'll pull you out of a burning building? No, that's not going to happen to you. You should have given your written speech that talked about what you and Bobby did when you were a kid and when he was a little tiny captain and then grew up to be a big giant captain. That's what you should have done.
Massachusetts State Police say a woman and the driver of a tow truck sent to pick up her vehicle were both arrested at the end of the evening. 51-year-old Patricia O'Donnell was stopped by a trooper and arrested for DUI. Well, the cops then called the tow truck company, said you need to come get her car because she's not driving it. When he pulls up to get the car hooked up to tow it away, that's when the cops noticed he was walking funny. He didn't seem to be completely sober himself, so they gave him a breathalyzer. He, too, was drunk driving.
He, too, was drunk driving.
So the tow truck and the driver of the vehicle.
So who comes and gets that vehicle?
Right?
You got to get a tow truck for the tow truck.
truck.
A bigger tow truck for the tow truck.
A tow truck to tow the car and the tow truck. Yeah.
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 They were all arrested.
Or you could just get some sober guy to drive the tow truck. But
You could, but I don't think that's what happened here.
No.
A Texas woman has shared photos of her puppy figuring out how to beat the heat. Puppies, love to chew things. Puppies will play with just about anything. This puppy ran out into the yard where the sprinkler was on and decided to bring it inside to play with him.
No, really? Neat.
She posted a photo showing the 5-month-old border collie playing as water sprayed everywhere. It went in through the doggy door, so she, didn't really have a whole lot of control over it. And she said that she was able to stop it before it did too much damage, and at least she was trying to have a sense of humor about it.
My goodness gracious. You know what? Dogs get away with murder. If I brought the sprinkler into the house because I thought it was funny, Amy'd be mad all day long. And I have a sprinkler. That's the first thing I went to Home Depot for.
Yeah?
Yeah, I have a whole system now.
But if you were a cute little puppy, there's no
No,
way
I'm
she could
fine
be
all
mad.
day. She'd spoon with me. I'm like a chicken.
Danny, did you say you went to Home Depot to get a sprinkler?
Yeah, a couple of times ago, yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, because you don't have a yard right now, so what are you sprinkling?
I have 3 bushes in front. Remember that tree fell on my house?
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it killed these 3 bushes that make a wraparound of bushes where my front yard would be if I had one.
Like a hedge.
Yeah, and exactly like a hedge. And I've tried bringing it back to life 3 times. And finally, I went and got a sprinkler and water it almost constantly. And I'm hoping it will come back.
Today is Wednesday the 25th.
I know what that means.
Yeah, I
you
don't,
You
yeah.
seem a little unclear about it.
For some reason, thought today was Thursday, but no, tomorrow is Thursday.
Because you want to go to that meeting so bad.
I have meetings on Thursdays that I don't want to go to. No, the big celebration is tomorrow. Auntie Anne's. I have a hard time pronouncing that word because I pronounce it aunt.
Yeah, Auntie Anne's.
Auntie Anne's.
The pretzel people?
The pretzel people.
Yeah.
They are celebrating National Aunt and Uncle Day by offering a buy one, get one free deal on their pretzels. They said, bring in your favorite aunt for a treat. Her name doesn't have to be Anne. In fact, she technically doesn't even need to be your aunt or your uncle. They're just doing a buy one, get one free in honor of National Aunt and Uncle Day tomorrow.
And that's a real thing?
It is a real thing.
Aunt and uncle?
I
Correct.
never heard of it.
I never heard of it. I don't like it. I'm against it.
I like free pretzels, though.
Yeah, I'll take free anything, really.
I like it. I'm an aunt. Danny, aren't you an uncle?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we should like it.
So I get
Get
Uncle Day, I
recognized.
get Father's Day,
Yep.
Look at you
I
go.
get Secretary's Day.
I don't think
You
you, get
do?
that
What
one.
do you do on that one?
I write notes and then take dictation.
All right. I bet you're good at that.
It's time for today's Things Are Not Right in Florida. Story of the day.
Yay.
A man suspected of huffing and doing naked jumping jacks in a women's bathroom at a
Ew.
fast food restaurant is
Pretty
in
sure
trouble
you can't
with the
do
law.
that.
You can't do that.
No.
Well, it sounds like he did it.
Well, you're not supposed
Oh,
to.
I agree with that.
This was a McDonald's near Harding Place. A man wearing no clothes.
How
went to-
close was he to Harding Place?
He went into the bathroom completely naked, doing jumping jacks. They said it appeared he had been in there for several hours, acting erratic, and he smelled strongly of chemical fumes as if he had been huffing. He has prior charges for huffing. They're not sure why he was naked doing jumping jacks this time around, but you can't do that.
Huffing doesn't seem like it's good for you.
No, it doesn't.
No, but I mean, in real life, I've taken a bunch of drugs that people said this is not good for you, and I think I'm fine.
Yeah.
So I make bad judgment calls when it comes to drugs. I wouldn't huff.
No.
No, it just seems dirty and bad, and it's like it's killing brain cells with every huff. That's what it feels like.
Immediate killing of
Yeah.
brain cells. Yeah.
Oh, Florida.
Oh,
Florida.
Florida.
News brought to you by Car Pros Renton Kia. We've got a lot of show going on, including next in entertainment news. A star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame
Thank you very much. I accept.
Congratulations,
has
man.
been
Wow, well, I really accept.
damaged.
Oh, totally different thing. Has been damaged. Okay.
We'll tell you whose star has been damaged. Big news about Hamilton. Good news for those of you who are into Hamilton. Plus, we have a pair of Mariners tickets for you to win next.
This traffic report is brought to you by the Great American Tiny House Show. In Tacoma, you're going to hit some slowdowns on I-5 northbound between Highway 16 and River Road. Over in Auburn, a little bit heavy on 167 northbound between 15th Street and the Kent Des Moines Road. Go Tiny. The Great American Tiny House Show is at the Washington State Fairgrounds August 4th and 5th. See tiny homes, container homes, trailers, and green living products. Tickets at greatamericantinihouseshow.com. The Tiny House Show at the Washington State Fairgrounds, August 4th and 5th. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Hey Seattle, you know how AT&T gives you more for your thing, like sharing the love with your favorite person thing? Well, you need to head to your local AT&T store today. AT&T has deals and devices that will help you save more. If you've been looking to get more from your devices, to get more from your plans, well, AT&T has you covered. I've been an AT&T customer for years. They've always got the latest devices. When you go to that local AT&T store for all your wireless and entertainment needs, make sure to ask how you can get a smartphone on them. The knowledgeable reps at AT&T can show you all the latest in devices. They can help you figure out a plan that's going to help you get the most from all those new devices. Who knows what you could be missing? Your local AT&T store is the best place to check out all that AT&T has to offer. And like I said, don't forget to ask them how you can get a smartphone for yourself and then one on them. Your local AT&T store. Check out all the latest devices, deals, and more. AT&T, more for your thing. That's our thing.
This weather report is brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz dealers of Puget Sound. We're looking at even hotter temperatures today. Expect highs in the low 90s and clear sunny skies. Similar conditions in store for the rest of the week and into the weekend. Performance never takes a vacation. Right now, you can get a sizzling offer on the Mercedes-Benz you've always wanted at the Mercedes-Benz summer event. Go to mbusa.com/summer event to learn more or visit your Mercedes-Benz dealers of Puget Sound for a test drive today. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
Starting with music news, Bob Dylan will release live 1962 to 1966 rare performances from the copyright collection.
It's live. I believe I have some tape. That's the clap.
Yeah.
In case you're wondering.
That was the live audience. You did both impressions
It's
at the same
harder
time.
to do than you would think.
That was great.
That was beautiful.
Bob Dylan and applauding. Very difficult.
They say among the treasures unearthed in the new set are a duet with Joan Baez, When the Ship Comes In, which was recorded at the March on Washington shortly before Martin Luther King Jr. gave his I Have a Dream speech.
Wow.
And I said that this is something that is pretty important for Bob Dylan fans. After premiering at Sundance earlier this year, the Joan Jett documentary Bad Reputation will be by a guy named Kevin Kerslake, who has done a lot of different music videos and has worked with a lot of big name musicians. And this is tracking Joan Jett's journey through rock history, including founding her band, The Runaways, her evolution to a solo artist, the launch of Black Heart Records. And they said a lot of different people are interviewed, and it's supposed to be fantastic. As I said, it premiered at Sundance. So
Can't wait.
And some sad news to report this morning from the music world. Singer Demi Lovato was hospitalized yesterday after suffering a drug overdose. According to TMZ, who were the first to report it, LAPD responded to her home in Hollywood 11:30 in the morning.
Perfect time for heroin. Tea and heroin. That's the way to go.
They had originally said heroin, but now they are saying it was a heroin-like substance. And she has been very vocal saying it's not heroin, but would not disclose what it was.
Well, there's very few things that are heroin-like.
Yeah. That almost sounds worse than heroin.
And do you inject it? Do you snort it? Do you smoke it?
It could have been, what's the one killing it? It's
Fentanyl, yeah.
Yeah, that's certainly heroin-like.
I mean, they said she was given Narcan, which is to fight opioid overdoses.
Overdose, yeah.
She has had addiction to opioids in the past, not heroin, but Oxycontin. So she
made this big deal. She goes to rehab. She makes a big deal about it. And the girl's troubled. You want to look at her. She's pretty. She's had a great career. She's got a lot of money. You want to write this off, but she has got to be deeply troubled. She's a cutter. She cuts herself often. I don't know if it's just for attention or why anybody would cut themselves. Drugs, alcohol, and then she recently wrote a song called "Mommy, I'm Not Sober," which is actually quite touching.
That's a song that's playing right now. It's
Is that
called
it?
Sober. Yeah. So she wrote this song that she just released because she had relapsed. She had celebrated 6 years of sobriety in March and then said, yeah, I'm no longer sober. She has been very vocal about her issues, addiction, bipolar disorder, and an eating disorder, first checking into rehab at the age of 18, which was 8 years ago.
That almost never plays. I went to rehab with a bunch of rich children, and you could just see, you guys are not going to make it, and some of you are going to die. And as far as I have been informed, one of them did. And like the daughter of some rich tycoon, because this was an expensive rehab.
Her family issued a statement. We want to express thanks to everyone for the love, the prayers, and the support. Some of the information being reported is incorrect, and we respectfully ask for your privacy and don't speculate about her health because recovery is the most important thing for Demi Lovato right now.
Why do you say such things?
Of course we're going to speculate. Of
Well,
course
why
we're going to
don't
talk about it.
speculate in her privacy? And what she gave up privacy. She sold it. And
Yeah.
rightly, she did a great job. She negotiated very, very well. But if you think I'm going to sit here on my wacky little radio show and not guess what drugs you're on,
Yeah.
you're sadly mistaken.
Especially when you say, no, not heroin. It's heroin-ish.
Heroin-like.
Yeah.
Heroin-light, really. And less calories in this heroin. Less filling.
A star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame
Yeah.
honoring Donald Trump was destroyed overnight.
Again?
Again, this is not a repeat story. Police were seen standing by the damaged star, covered with debris and rubble. They said this is similar to the other one, but when it was destroyed last time, back in 2016, it was done with a sledgehammer. This time they found a pickaxe nearby. So somebody does not like Donald Trump's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Right.
They should just take it out and replace it with someone else who's more deserving.
Yeah.
They should, but I say once you're in, you're in. You can't take a guy out because you don't like him.
But even if they're going to give it to you?
Yeah, I don't want Donald Trump's old star. I want my brand spanking new star.
Yeah.
The Broadway show Hamilton is reportedly becoming a movie. They said Hollywood studios are bidding for rights to do a filmed performance of Hamilton and have that be the movie as opposed to adapting it. So back in 2016, while Lin-Manuel Miranda was still Hamilton, all these have been filmed. They would like to take one of those with him and make that into a big screen movie.
Okay, I'll go see that.
Yeah.
And I've seen the show,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll definitely go see it.
Bad news for Bill Cosby. According to an evaluation, I should say more bad news for Bill Cosby. According to an evaluation by Pennsylvania's Sexual Offenders Assessment Board, Bill Cosby should be classified as a sexually violent predator. They are going to be having a hearing whether to have somebody decide whether or not they're going to accept that recommendation. Now, state law already requires Bill Cosby to register as a sex offender, but a sexually violent predator classification would require increased treatment in prison and increased notification of neighbors upon release. A person deemed a predator is also subject to a lifetime of mandatory sex offender counseling, at least monthly.
You know, I don't know what Bill Cosby's up to, but I don't see him as a dangerous predator for the neighbors. How's he going to get to the neighbor's house? Going to have that guy lead him over while he walks like a weirdo with his eyes closed? And he's 800 years old?
I don't see him getting released from prison.
No, me either. Me either. Not in his lifetime.
Well, we'll find out what his prison sentence is September 24th. He is facing 10 years.
I'd flee.
Yeah.
If I were Bill Cosby, if I were over 80 and I'm going to get a decade in jail, yeah, I'd run someplace.
It's pretty hard for him to do at this point because he's
Recognizable and blind?
Yeah,
No,
those two things.
I was going to say he's undergoing monitoring home confinement.
Yeah.
So he's in Pennsylvania. How does he get out of the country before they know he's gone and track him?
Sailboat.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Go anywhere and cost you nothing. Makes no
Maybe.
noise.
Yeah.
Look at me go.
NBC announced its next live musical will be Hair Live, and it will air May 19th.
Are they going to have the full frontal nudity that the original was known for?
I'm going to say no,
yeah,
Danny.
well, it's not the same show then. And by the way, they were naked in like the 70s or even the 60s, so everybody had a fro, even two of them, if you know what I'm saying.
It opened in 1968, ran for 1,750 performances, was adapted into a film. Hair tells the story of a tribe of Central Park dwelling anti-establishment hippies led by Claude, Sheila, and Berger, who rebel against the government, the Vietnam War, and sexual repression. So they said they will not be naked because it's on NBC and
Right.
can't do that.
You'd wear a merkin.
Yeah, they're not going to opt for that because they want it to be a little more family friendly.
Your show sucks.
It's been the new trend, though. All of these live shows
Yeah.
have been very successful.
I've only seen one as it aired, and that was Jesus Christ Superstar, and I was very pleased with it. I didn't think it was as good as the original, but I'm tainted.
Are you?
Maybe 12.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep. Okay, it's time to take a look at sports.
Sports.
Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUIOA. That's 1-800-DUIOA. The Mariners were at home, Safeco Field, playing the San Francisco Giants.
Yeah.
Things did not go so hot in the ninth inning. Derek, tell us what went wrong.
There was a costly throwing error by D. Gordon. The ball got by Ryan Healy, went near the dugout, and the Giants scored and got the win.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'll agree with it.
Fair assessment, yeah.
4-3 loss for the Mariners last night. That is tough. What was even more difficult was James Paxton was supposed to be the starting pitcher, and his back is not healed. He was a last-minute scratch. Left-handed long reliever Roenis Elias was the pitcher instead. We are waiting for an update on James Paxton. We need him back. Need his pitching.
Yeah.
If you were at last night's Mariners game, it was a beautiful night at the ballpark, and I'm sure you remember the Mariners KZOK music trivia song that played. It plays at every home game, lights up the stadium, it blasts throughout Safeco Field. Do you remember the song from last night's game? If you do, start calling us right now, 800-252-1025. The first person to correctly tell us that song wins tickets to an upcoming game. Derek, what do they win?
Tickets for the game on August 1st at 1:10 versus the Houston Astros, which just happens to be Mariners Baseball Card Pack Day.
Mariners Baseball Card Pack Day.
Call right now, 800-252-1025. Call to win. The Sounders today play the San Jose Earthquakes, which has a 7:30 match time. Yesterday, the Storm defeated the Indiana Fever 92-72. Up next, the Storm will face the Phoenix Mercury at 7. Well, as we know, LeBron James left Cleveland
Again.
again.
Yeah.
Again.
And this time around, he went to the LA Lakers. Well, it looks like Kevin Love is the new alpha dog in Cleveland. The Cavaliers have signed the All-Star forward to a 4-year, $120 million extension.
Jeez, that's a lot of dough.
It really is.
They make a lot of loot in
And
basketball.
I never even heard of the guy. I'm assuming he's a superstar, but he's no LeBron.
Yeah, but they don't have as many guys to pay in basketball, so they all get paid more.
Not as many guys in basketball.
Like, say, football
Oh,
or
okay.
even baseball.
Well, and speaking of, the Rams running back Todd Gurley is finalizing a 4-year, $60 million contract extension that includes a $45 million guarantee.
Wow.
How do they pay these people?
With money, but I'd
It's
say
our money, too.
I was watching. I got a load of Gurley. They played us last year, didn't they?
Yeah.
A couple of times. That's the only time I watch football is if it's the Hawks involved. And I thought he caught my attention. I thought he was really good.
Yeah.
And a rumor has it that Earl Thomas will not report to the start of Seahawks training camp. He is pushing for a contract extension. The Seahawks say they're aware he won't attend, and there is zero chance of a new deal if he does not report.
Wow.
So it looks like we're going to be at a bit of a logger.
Not if you
Loggerheads.
believe what they just said. If he doesn't show up that day, he's out, is what I got from
Not that he's out, but they're not going to extend him. So
Right,
he
but
wants a new
he's
deal
saying
right now.
There won't be a new deal if he doesn't show.
Correct. Yeah.
In which case he won't stay with the team. I think it's a bad call for him.
Well, he won't get paid if he doesn't show up. So if the season starts and he decides not to show up, he doesn't get paid. So
Like
he'll
$9 million.
Yes.
He's going to show up
He's
for the season.
going to show up for the
Yeah.
season. He's just not showing up for training camp, which means he's not getting an extension. And then what? Nothing.
Well, he goes to Cowboys. But he goes to the Cowboys for
Right.
less than he would have.
Yep. A University of Iowa football player was arrested over the weekend for public intoxication after police say he tried to get into a police car that he thought was his Uber.
Wow. Well, it might be.
22-year-old Brady Rife, who is a defensive tackle, was arrested 2:00 in the morning. There's a police car, and he tries to open the front door. Then he tries to open the back door. They said, "What are you doing?" He said, I'm trying to get in my Uber. You're my Uber, right? And the cop said, "Yep, come on in."
Well, that's entrapment now.
Yeah, no, I think he did it to himself. But what's the charge?
So he's totally wasted. They said, blow into this, a .204.
Okay, he's so wasted. I'll give him that.
And-
But I don't understand. He had the wherewithal to call a cab.
Yeah, I guess he was arrested for public intoxication.
What a punk charge.
Yeah.
Guy's not doing anything. Wants an Uber.
Right, yeah,
Wrong
just trying to
car,
go
which,
home.
by the way, I have done. Tried to get into the wrong car and not even drunk. Just it looked like my rent-a-car.
Right.
I think they're riding this guy too rough.
Well, and public intoxication, like it seems, unless he was being a total jerk to the cops, it seems.
No, it sounds like falling down, peeing on yourself, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't say any of those things, so you wonder was he being a total jerk to the cops, and they're like, all right, forget it, buddy, because otherwise it just seems like he was pretty wasted.
Or did they want to make an example out of somebody who's on a football team?
Oh, good thinking, Paul. That's probably
Bad
what it
thinking
was.
on their part, because if that turns out to be the case, that's always backlash.
Yeah.
A .204. I'm guessing he's got quite a hangover. This
He was
morning.
wasted, yeah.
Hey, congratulations to Dennis in Kingston. He knew the song from last night's Mariners game was Magic Man by heart. Dennis in Kingston is going to the Jeep winners window in our lobby to pick up. I don't even remember what he wins. Derek, tell him.
Dennis won tickets for the game on August 1st at 1:10 versus the Houston Astros, which just happens to be Mariners Baseball Card Pack Day.
Mariners Baseball Card Pack Day.
Come watch the Mariners do battle with the Houston Astros on August 1st at 1:10 p.m. And if you're one of the first 20,000 fans, you could pick up a special Mariners Baseball Card Pack from Topps. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
Nice. Thank you. Well, the Mariners are at home again today, a day game against the San Francisco Giants with 1:10 start time on Root Sports. So if you're going to the game today, make sure to pay attention to that Mariners KZOK music trivia song because you'll have another chance to win tickets tomorrow morning right here, same time, same place. Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. That's 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
This traffic report is brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz dealers of Puget Sound. In Auburn on 167 northbound, you're going to see some slow traffic between 15th Street and the Kent Des Moines Road. Over in Shoreline on I-5 southbound near 175th Street, we have a disabled vehicle there that's currently blocking the shoulder. Ah, summer, a time where the days are longer and the rides are sweeter. And now you can get a great offer on a sweet ride of your own at the Mercedes-Benz Summer Event. Go to mbusa.com/summer event to learn more or visit your Mercedes-Benz dealers of Puget Sound for a test drive today. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
All right, I want to tell you a little story. It's about how awesome I am. Oh, well, let me rephrase. I do 30-10, weight loss for life. Lost 40 pounds, kept it off for like 2 years now. I got on the scale this morning, which is something I don't really do that often anymore because I always weigh 160 pounds. But now, just this morning only, 159 pounds. I am down 41 pounds. You know what? I am pretty happy with the way this goes. You see, 3010, it was created by healthcare providers with decades of experience and expertise. They have the know-how to make it work for you, and the whole team at 3010, they are with you every step of the way, providing with knowledge and support. And one of the best parts about the 3010 program, well, that's the food, my friends. With 3010, you eat healthy, nutritious. They even have gluten-free or vegan options. Plus, 3010 supplies you with all sorts of recipes, and they even have cooking classes at some of their locations. I've never heard of it. That is just the coolest thing in the whole wide world. Are you ready to start living a healthier life? Well, you can do it, my friends. Call 3010 Weight Loss for Life, 855-843-3010. That's 855-843-3010, 3010 Weight Loss for Life. You're worth it at 3010weightlossforlife.com. Since I moved here, almost 10 years ago now, one of the consistent things that people have told me, you got to do this. You're not from here till you do this. And that is Seafair, ladies and gentlemen. And we have your tickets, and you can win them at 720 by playing Seafair or Seafair. It's just that easy.
Well, we've been talking this week about that 2,000-year-old sarcophagus that was found in Egypt. And some people say, don't open them. It's full of the plague and bad things.
Cursed, right? Cursed.
They're cursed. And, this is something that's been happening for hundreds of years, that they're concerned about opening up these sarcophagus.
Thousands of years, really.
Yeah.
I mean, the people breaking these things open, and archaeologists, are not the guys that thought this out. Grave robbers thought this up, that it was a curse.
Right.
Well, inside of this sarcophagus, there was a type of curse. It turns out there was a small hole, and sewage leaked in there.
Yeah.
And what's inside, they said it's a mixture from where it was buried. So sediment and clay and dirt and a bunch of gross stuff got inside there. It's red. And a petition has started that people want to drink it.
They can't possibly let you do that, can they? I mean, we just found out that snuggling your chicken will kill you. What about red goo from a sarcophagus?
And I can't imagine anybody who signed this petition wants to be the first person to drink it. You go first. I promise I'll do it next.
Well, they think it's some sort of elixir. It could be the fountain of youth. And
Well, Ponce de Leon will be surprised all the hell that
Right?
turned out to be in Egypt.
well, last week I was all about wanting to try that pickle slushy from Sonic.
Yeah.
I lost my mind. It was the biggest thing. And right before I tasted it, I was thinking, this might not actually be a good idea. This is pickle juice flavored. That's kind of gross in a way.
Yeah, I'm with you. I thought at first it sounds interesting. I couldn't bring myself to order it.
But it's not the red goo of death.
True.
The red goo of death, it's got the words goo and death in it. Don't drink it.
I'm not going to order a red goo of death slushy from Sonic.
Smart
either.
move.
But a lot of us do this. There's something you really want to try, even though it might not be a good idea.
Oh, yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah?
And this is, I want to try. I didn't try with it. Kratom. I'm dying to try Kratom.
Yeah.
Terrible idea.
Believe me, I've been told before that that's not a good idea.
Every time we talk about it, people text in, email in, and say, don't do it. It's such a terrible, terrible drug.
Yeah,
Which
then how
only-
come Lil Tory does it?
It only makes you want to do it more, doesn't it?
Yeah, I want to see what all the fuss is about.
Yeah.
I won't do it. I'm not gonna do it. I don't, But as far as you know on the radio, but that something about that kind of stuff to me appeals to me.
Well, and it's sort of human nature in a way that you want to try something, you want to do it, even though it might not be a good idea.
Yeah, I've kind of got that going on.
Well, you guys listening, has this happened to you? Is there something that you want to try, even though it might not be a good idea? Let us know. Call 800-252-1025 or text your answer to 90627.
Also, a lot of people would like to drink ancient goo. Now, when I put it that way, you think, how could they do it? They think it is the elixir of life. It's from a sarcophagus. What else could it be but yummy for you? Is there something out there that you would like to try, even though you're pretty sure that might not be a good idea? 1-800-252-1025, or you can text to 90627.
Let's talk to Brent in Port Townsend.
Hey, Brent.
Hey, good morning. What a great show, and I really loved your interview with Rob the other day, Dan.
Oh, well, thank you. I thought he was up and perky and ready to go. Sell some tickets. So I want you to know, Brent, that we were looking at your phone call, and we're all trying to guess what you mean. So what do you mean?
Well, I'd really, I think about making a counterfeit parking sign in front of the condos, something like managers parking only when there's no managers parking.
I officially have to go with Sarah as closest.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was the thing.
Right,
Fake
yeah.
parking spot. Yes, Sarah guessed your thing. So what do you think would happen if you did it?
I'd probably get busted.
Yeah, probably. But what are they going to do?
Tow my car.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Brent, you want to put up a sign outside of your own building that's just for you to park in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so Paul had pegged you as bringing spray paint to downtown Seattle to create your own parking
Yeah,
space.
right. Just draw another line, and there you go.
Yep.
And I had you muscling in with actually full force into a parking space, making it your own.
Yeah, I had you paving a big parking space in your backyard.
So, but that's
That's close.
closest. It's where he lives. Yeah, that's close.
Yeah.
By the way, let me turn you on to this. There are these companies that make magnetic signs that are either permanent or you can move the letters around. And you can make your own signs for wherever you go and just get out of your car and attach your new sign to say
Oh, wow.
parking 2 hours only and stuff like that. You should think about that, Brent, and then thank me.
I've seen people do something similar in downtown Seattle where they just carry orange cones around
Yeah.
in their
Yep,
trunk,
yep.
and then they'll just hop out when they're leaving that spot. Say they got to run somewhere, they'll just put the cones out when they come back, pick the
Amazing.
In
cones back up.
Chicago, that's a huge deal, but the cones look okay. People will do this with lawn furniture and stuff, and that is block off their spot in the snow.
Oh.
They dig it out from a snowstorm,
Yeah.
and then they want to own that, and you can't.
Yep. We are asking, is there something you want to try, even though it might not be a good idea? Let us know by calling 800-252-1025 or text in 90627 now. Danielle in Seattle, hello.
Hello.
Hey,
So I want to participate in a Lamb of God Wall of Death.
you're going to have to tell us what that is. I think that
The
none
Lamb
of
of
us
God is a band.
The Lamb of
Lamb of
God
God
is
is a
actually
band.
Christ.
Well, I mean, some can call Randy Blythe Christ. That's okay.
What's the Wall of Death?
So basically what it is, they take the crowd and they split it onto two sides. And when they say go, you run at the other side as hard and fast as you can.
Oh my gosh, Danielle. That's a crazy
It's like-
concert.
It's like two giant mosh pits colliding.
Yeah. That does not sound all that safe.
No, and you sound reasonable
Right.
to me. Do you do this thing?
Well, I want to. I'm a little bit older, and bones and joints don't work as well as they used to.
Don't I
so
know?
Probably not the best idea, but definitely want to.
Yeah, and it is a lot of the 1-2s that, makes it. Remember, I really wanted to try fugu,
Yeah.
which is a blowfish that can kill you
Yeah.
unless it's expertly
Yeah.
its liver removed or something like that. And I was really nervous about it because there was a sign that we're licensed to do this fish thing, but they didn't look licensed to do anything. But it was delicious, and I'm not dead.
Yeah, I tried it a couple of times, and all of the times that I had it, because it was fugu season when I was in Japan, and this whole time I was thinking, this is not a good idea.
Right.
I could die just for eating a piece of raw fish. Why would I do this?
Why would you do
And then
that?
I ate it.
Right, me too.
Which sounds safer than the Lamb of God Wall of Death.
What if they made it up?
Who?
Anybody made up that
Made up what?
blowfish will kill you.
Yeah.
How do
Because
I have
people
no?
die every year in Japan.
Yeah, did you meet one? Me
No,
either.
it happens every year.
Yeah, I
Somebody
never.
drops
All I'm
dead.
saying is I never met one. Somebody could be pulling my chain.
What is something you want to try, even though it might not be a good idea? 800-252-1025. Good morning, Bill and Tukwila.
Hey, Bill.
Hey guys, how you doing?
We're well, thank you. What do you got for us?
So, a lifelong fantasy is like on my doorstep, and I really don't know how to handle it. My girl's really kind of like bi-curious, and we're talking about the whole threesome thing. It's like touch and go. What do you think?
Well, it's literally touch and go.
Yeah, you hope. Anyway, that's how it
Here,
turns out.
you want my advice to you, man? And don't get upset. I'll give you the really bad news first. How long have you been with this girl?
We've been together for about a year.
Okay. Bi-curious girls that are initiating threesomes with other people, they're not the long run. I wouldn't imagine there's another 5 years in this relationship. That's just my guess. But I have lots of experience with what you're talking about. Having said that, if you accept what the repercussions might be, I had fun every single time. So I'm saying yes, Bill.
But you've always said, Danny, that it's not a good idea because the relationship doesn't typically
That's
survive.
what I said to him first. I don't see another 5 years here. But having said that, either way, she's bi-curious. She's setting up threesomes. This relationship, I think, is doomed. So go get the threesome. It's a fun little experience, Bill.
Probably doesn't have another 6 months of legs on it.
Right.
We've had a few different people on the text line at 90627 say that they would want to sleep with someone other than their husband or their wife. It sounds thrilling, but it's probably not worth it. Probably not risking the marriage.
They're right. I spend most of my day thinking I'd like to sleep with other people that aren't my wife, but you don't do it because finally, eventually the cost of that will get. And I don't just mean the cost of my last wife cost me everything. I mean, it's a drag that, you want to settle down eventually. I'm coming up on 60. You don't have to do the craziness anymore. It's not the law.
Unlike Danny, the people on the text line did not identify themselves. But you say, you spend time thinking about that. They said the same thing, but they didn't want.
All anonymous.
They don't want their spouses to know.
Let me just make this clear right now. I'd sleep with both of her sisters. But having said that, it's probably a bad idea. And her mom.
The texters also want to go skydiving, and they want to try peyote.
Oh, I'll do peyote with them.
That's probably not a good idea.
But you
Want to
got to
save that
get,
phone
somebody's got to be good at it because you have to clean the strychnine out of it. It can kill you.
It does sound dangerous.
Let's talk to Jamie and Edmond, something you want to try even though it might not be a good idea.
Hey, Jamie.
Hi. I would want to try the Pacific Crest Trail or the Appalachian Trail.
Well,
that sounds great on paper.
They're really different. And by the way, no, they don't. They sound terrible. But
3 months of walking through the woods.
I'm aware of people that have done them. My mother-in-law has done a 140-mile trail. Nothing as difficult as the two you want to do. Are you in the condition to do it, Jamie? Could you do it?
Well, I'd love to do it, but I don't think I can. But my 55-year-old sister is over 1,000 miles on it now.
Oh, good
Wow.
for
See,
her.
that's awesome, man.
For
My
most
mother-in-law
people-
was over 60 when she did it.
For most people, it's the time commitment. You can't have a job.
Right.
So, and the other problem for most people isn't whether or not you're fit. It's whether or not you want to sleep on the ground every night for 6 months.
I would imagine it's a combination because you're sleeping on the ground's got to suck your feet. When I say condition, I first think of your feet. I did what's the breast cancer march?
Susan G.
Komen. I did that twice, 60 miles each time in cowboy boots with 3-inch heels. And just blew my feet out totally. And now I'm not prepared feet-wise. I don't know what kind of shoes I would wear, but I would never do it again.
Like
Probably
the
not
Appalachian,
cowboy boots.
Yeah, probably not.
the Appalachian Trail, you have no choice. You are sleeping in a tent every single night, and everything you need is on your person. That doesn't sound all that great.
No, it doesn't sound that great to me.
Something Matt really wants to try, even though it might not be a good idea, climbing Mount Rainier. I told him he's on his own.
Yeah, he's on his own.
On his own and out of his mind.
Yeah, but people do it all the time.
And I don't think he's out of his mind because it's dangerous. I think he's out of his mind because it sucks.
Right.
It's cold, it's wet, it's damp, it's horrible.
Yeah.
And then, after 10 things, then dangerous. But I don't think Matt would die. He's a fit young man. I think he set his mind to it. He'd do it. And he'd just be cold and wet and horrified the whole time.
Yeah, I'm not going.
I'm not going.
Paul,
I'll go rescue him.
Paul, what is something you want to try, even though it might not be a good idea?
Oh, we talked the other day about Guinness Book of World Records record that was broken, and Danny said he could teach me to do it in 5 minutes. And ever since then, I've been wanting to slice watermelons with a sword on Danny's stomach.
It's not. Believe me, I'm not saying this stuff rashly. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
It's essentially a trick. It takes literally. You don't even have to chop a watermelon once to go. Okay, I'm ready, and then start chopping.
It seems crazy, but I want to try it.
All right.
Tori, what is
Well, you're the producer of this show. Set it up.
Yeah, all right, let's do it.
Tori, what is something you want to try, even though it might not be a good idea?
I want to swim with sharks,
That's probably not a good
Yeah.
idea.
but in a cage.
Yeah, no, then it is a good idea.
It's a better idea,
I've done it half a dozen times, maybe more, and it is absolutely an interesting experience. And then there's sharks that you can swim with, not in a cage, that have the capacity to kill you, so it's extra exciting, but they won't. I don't know what those kind of sharks are, black tips or something like that, but they go to them all the time and feed them, so they're not going to eat you,
Yeah.
or at least that's the vibe.
Yeah, I've swam with sharks in the wild without a cage before, and as long as they are fed, like as long as you're in an area where they're not starving, they won't eat you.
Yeah,
The
fair enough.
hammerhead didn't want to eat me. He looked at me with one eye, and then he looked at me with the other eye.
Right. Hammerheads
away.
bite, too.
Yeah.
They're known biters.
Yep. And Derek, what is something you want to try, even though it might not be a good idea?
I would love to try to domesticate a raccoon. I just love those cute little trash pandas.
They are
That-
cute.
That was an exceptional answer, man. Because now I want to. And I want to because Derek said he wants to. That's weird, but I'll do it. That's neat, Derek.
It's time to play See Fair or Seafair.
Seafair or Seafair?
You can win a pair of tickets to the Seafair Weekend Festival, watch the Albert Lee Appliance Cup hydroplane races, and the Boeing Seafair Air Show August 3rd through the 5th at Genesee Park on Lake Washington. If you want to win these tickets, you want to play the game, call us right now, 800-252-1025. Boston on 102.5 KZOK. We are playing See Fair or Seafair. That's the name of the game. And it's your chance to win a pair of tickets to the Seafair Weekend Festival, the 3rd through the 5th, Genesee Park on Lake Washington. Here's how this game works. To win, you just listen to Danny's definitions and tell us if he is talking about the word sea, the word fair, or seafair.
Yeah.
Our contestant is Terry in Tukwila.
Hey, Terry, let me ask you right off the bat. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Most of the time.
All right, good. And do you understand the rules of the game?
I do.
Then here we go. This sea fair or seafair is a compound word combining the waters of the earth as distinguished from the land and air with a gathering of stalls and amusement for public entertainment. A Pacific Northwest tradition since 1950. Most people just know it as the most anticipated event of the summer. Can you tell us, is the word sea fair or seafair?
That is Seafair.
That is Seafair.
That was a really tough one today.
It was tough to read.
It's a Friday.
Good job, Terry.
Congratulations, Terry. You're going to the Jeep Winners window in our lobby to pick up your tickets to the Seafair Weekend Festival, the 3rd through the 5th at Genesee Park on Lake Washington. You can get more details and get your own tickets by going to seafair.com. We'll give you another chance to win tomorrow at 7:20, and next is the big news of the day.
This traffic report is brought to you by Amtrak. In Bothell on 405 southbound as you approach 195th Street, we have an accident there blocking the right lane. And you're going to hit some stop and go traffic in Seattle on I-5 northbound between the Boeing Access Road and Seneca Street. What if there was a car that could breeze through traffic? There isn't, but there is Amtrak where you can sit in comfort, not in traffic, and now save more too. Save 20% when you book 14 days in advance at Amtrak.com. Restrictions apply. Amtrak, see where the train can take you. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Listen carefully. You guys are going to love this. Snoqualmie Casino hosting free concert Fridays all summer long. All shows free of charge, my friends. And they're held in Snoqualmie Casino's panoramic outdoor Mountain View Plaza. Acts, and by the way, it's a beautiful place to see a show. Acts include Count 77. That's the guy from the History Channel's Counting Cars. His name's Danny the Count Coker. I dig that show. I watch it all the time. Anyway, his band is playing all the way from Las Vegas. Wanted a tribute to Bon Jovi, Hell's Bells, world famous all-female AC/DC tribute band. Everything you want to do, you just got to go to snocasino.com. It's going to be free. Seattle's closest casino.
This weather report is brought to you by Northwest Trek Wildlife Park. It's heating up a lot today. Plenty of sunshine and clear skies. Highs are going to hit the low 90s. Similar conditions will be in store for the rest of the week and into the weekend. It's currently 62 in downtown Seattle. There's a baby boom underway at Northwest Trek Wildlife Park. Bison calves and bighorn lambs born just weeks ago experience the most exciting time of the year at Northwest Trek Wildlife Park. Learn more at nwtrek.org. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
Big News is brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE or go online to goldbergjones.com.
Well, this morning, the Seattle Police Department came through with their promise and released their own lip sync video. This is set to Downtown by Macklemore, and we knew that they had been working on it. They did release a bit of a blooper reel. They released a little bit of a teaser, but now it is out in its entirety. And they do show a lot of other people, the community, in this video as well. And it is up on our website, KZOK.com, if you haven't seen it yet.
The whole thing? Mm-hmm. No, I have not seen it yet. Okay, I'm going to take a look right away.
Yeah, very cool. I saw the behind the scenes where they were shooting it, but now I really want to see it.
Because at first when I thought, they put in so much time and energy in it because they want to get it just right, I thought, arrest some people, you guys. But it sounds like this was good for the community. It sounds like this was good for everybody.
Yep. Tori, you watched it, yeah?
Yeah, I actually really liked it. I'm just mad that I'm not in it.
Yeah.
It's like, when was this parade? I didn't see that.
You needed to go to the Belltown Community Center. I guess they had notifications up around Belltown.
Oh, okay.
So sorry, I should have told you.
Dang.
It was Tori's chance to be in a Macklemore music video.
Oh, I don't think the chance of Tori being in a rock video is over.
No.
I think there's a very good chance we're going to see her on some kind of video.
So I think the challenge went to the London Police Department. So what happens at the end of the video is you then, you post it and you challenge. Right. Tori, if you can check, I'm not sure if I'm right about that, but I thought I had heard they challenged the London Police Department.
That's not even a real police department.
I'll check.
We got this from the Norfolk Police Department.
Yeah.
And each PD calls out a couple other ones and says, it's your turn. So it's fun, especially if you keep it local, like Seattle's police department doing something.
Then why'd we call out the London police if we're keeping it local?
No, I mean, what the song choice is. So if it is London, England, for example, maybe they'll do it to, I don't know, what's the biggest band in England right now?
Everybody. They're all from England.
Those
the
boy
Beatles are
bands.
pretty big.
Yeah.
No, I mean a new band.
Oh, maybe they'll do some Ed Sheeran or something.
Yeah, of course they will.
Adele, I don't know, something.
They did challenge the London Metropolitan Police Department.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's see what they do. Ivanka Trump is saying farewell to her fashion label. The first daughter of President Donald Trump is closing her eponymous label after more than a decade. She launched in 2007.
Did you say eponymous?
Her self-named, yeah.
Oh, it's name. I thought it was a word I'd never heard of. I'm going, oh man, should I tell her I'm stupid?
No, eponymous meaning self-named. So if you had your own label.
Oh, it is a word I've never heard
eponymous,
before.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, never heard it.
So if you had your own label, it would be called Danny, and then it would be called an eponymous label.
Mm-hmm. They attack people in the wild.
That's a hippopotamus.
Oh, it's a totally different thing.
That's duct tape.
No, it's a T on it.
That was a reach around earlier in the show. Sorry.
Yeah.
So
always nice.
She said she's focusing on her work in Washington.
Does she really have any work in Washington?
Your guess is as good as
I
mine,
think she
Beach
says
Man.
stupid stuff to the stupid president who then does stupid things, but I think if they would stop that would be okay with me.
Some people say she's actually the one who keeps him from doing more stupid things.
Yeah, she's supposed to be working mostly on women's issues, like keeping her father away from women.
Right.
I think.
I don't think that's exactly how that works.
No?
but
That's
yeah.
quite close.
Should be.
Paleontologists have identified the owner of the largest dinosaur foot ever found.
The dinosaur foot?
Yeah.
All right.
And I don't mean like Jeff Bezos owning it. It's a 150 million year old foot that they now know the owner is a brachiosaur.
Oh, well,
That's not a new dinosaur. We had that one.
Of course he's brachiosaur. Somebody cut his foot off.
This is he was a member of a group of long-necked vegetable eaters known as sauropods.
Sure.
Scientists believe that the dinosaur was closely related to the long-tailed, long-necked Brachiosaurus.
Isn't that the description of the giant purple people eater? Yes. Long-necked, long-horned, flying purple people eater.
This is a massive foot fossil that was recovered in Wyoming's Black Hills. They found some other incomplete skeletons in Australia and Argentina, but this is gigantic.
Wow.
They had only been calling it Bigfoot, but now they've done enough studying that took them a while that they say it's a brachiosaur.
Brachiosaurus, all right. And is Bezos that does own the biggest whole dinosaur in the world, or is that
Paul
a
Allen,
museum?
I thought.
Or Paul Allen? Who's got his
Jeff
head?
Bezos has a dinosaur in his house. I just don't believe it to be one of the biggest. I don't know.
Now, who's the other guy? Paul Allen. He has the whole head, right? Why is it so riveting to have a dinosaur?
I don't know, because no one else has one. You know,
Yeah.
you're the only
A
guy.
bunch of people have them.
Why does Paul Allen have a submarine?
Well, that makes more sense to me.
Really?
He wants to race it.
Yoko Ono made an announcement that some people are excited about and some people are horrified
All right.
about. Now, the bright side, Yoko Ono announced she's releasing a new album called Warzone. It'll be out mid-October.
Is it of her?
Well, that's the caveat, Danny. Some people are like, okay, we're fans of Yoko Ono. Great.
Nobody's a fan of Yoko Ono.
I think some people are saying all of her music
You
sounds
have
like
a
Warzone.
better chance of finding that dinosaur than finding a Yoko Ono fan.
Yeah.
Well, she is going to be revealing a new track every Tuesday on a streaming service and then on her website. But what she is doing that has Beatles fans up in arms. This album will include a new version of the song Imagine.
Yeah, we're up in arms.
As well, you should.
Yeah,
be.
you shouldn't do it. Why should you do it?
Well, what's it going to sound like is the question. Why
This.
do it?
It's gonna sound like this.
Is it going to be like this, experimental? She did get co-writing credits for the song, but I'm not sure why you would ever reimagine
Yeah.
Imagine.
Imagine you don't do this. That's the B side of this.
Yeah, so she has continued to make albums. 20 albums have come out. And her
Of hers?
Of hers.
I had no idea.
Yeah. I don't know who's buying them.
I don't know that anybody's buying. It's craziness, I tell you. Craziness. Have you ever known? She's like 85 now, and she shows up at these award shows wearing a weird little top hat, but she's got her boobs out. She's 85.
She looks good.
That's the problem. Yeah, I want to just go, congratulations there, Ms. Ono.
Something really peculiar happened at the Tour de France. There was a protest happening. A bunch of farmers were protesting.
What were they protesting?
Something to do with the farmers' rights and taxes and, a serious political issue in France. And so there was a protest. It happens around the world. Right? Well, police officers were trying to combat the protesters using pepper spray, which happened right at the same time where the Tour de France bicycle riders were going through town.
My son and I were having father-son talk about what's the best weapon to have on your body. And I said, taser followed by pepper spray.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason it's not number one is because it drifts. It gets other people, including you.
Well, one British cyclist named Chris Froome is one of the top riders. He was one who got completely covered in pepper spray. And people said, oops, what are we supposed to do? But nobody could ride.
And that isn't the one. I saw a crash at 50 miles an hour where the guy hits a small retaining. Well, you can see he's gonna eat it, but it's almost, I don't want to say comical because this is this guy's life and stuff. But he hits a 2-foot tall retaining wall, which is high enough to stop the bike from going over, but not him. So he just launched at 50, man. He got right back up, but still, it's the cursed. It's like they drank the red goo. It's the cursed Tour de France.
That's the big news of the day, which is brought to you by Goldberg Jones. Divorce for Men, 1-800-DIVORCE, or online, goldbergjones.com.
Stay with us. I love this part of the show. Coming up, it's Jelly Bean's Joke of the Week.
And now, Jelly Bean's joke of the week.
Good morning, Uncle Danny.
Morning, sweetheart.
Here comes the funny. Are you ready?
Ready.
What is Beethoven's favorite fruit?
All right, I'll bite. What is Beethoven's favorite fruit?
Banana. Banana.
Oh my God.
Man, that joke is so classical.
It's a double whammy, or a banger, as Sarah would refer to it. It's a twofer. Thanks, baby.
This traffic report is brought to you by BECU. In Linwood, we have some stop and go traffic on 405 southbound between 160th Street and Juanita Woodinville Way. And on I-5 southbound, you're going to hit some bad traffic between 164th Street and North Gateway. As a member-owned not-for-profit credit union, BECU puts the profits of your business first. To learn more about how BECU can help your business grow, make an appointment to meet with a BECU consultant at becu.org/business. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
All right, man. It is neat and it is cryptic. Listen to this. Tomorrow morning, right here around this very same time, 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, we're going to have a very big announcement for you. It involves a special party, one that's going to be free to attend and one that you are invited to. So be right here tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., because you won't want to miss this announcement.
Very exciting.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Secretive. Well, on Friday, we are getting a super long lunar eclipse. They said this is going to be the longest total lunar eclipse of the century.
Yeah.
We're going to get a blood moon, and it's supposed to be spectacular.
Didn't they tell us all of these same things not too long ago?
And wasn't it spectacular for those lunatics that drove down to Oregon and sat in that perfect town where it was the best longitude and latitude to see it? I didn't care. But I did. I got the glasses.
Yeah,
and
Tori
I saw
got
it.
us the glasses.
Yeah.
I went out, and I thought it was really cool to be part of it. But people lost their mind.
Yeah.
People absolutely overreacted and thought it was like the second coming. They thought it was the biggest.
There's a batch of people that thought exactly that, literally, that it was the second coming.
There was.
There was all sorts of people running around with banners. And
They were wrong.
Yeah, they were wrong. They're harder to come by than they were.
Well, this eclipse, I don't think people are going to lose their mind and overreact to because we can't see it very well here. You'd have to be in Asia or Africa to really get a good look at it, which I'm happy about because it will stop people from overreacting and losing their minds again.
Fair enough.
I was thinking the same thing, in my opinion, happened. Something that people totally overreacted to was that Bachelor, The Bachelor, the show. But like, oh my God, he changed his mind. How could he do this about Flip? Like, you're losing your mind over a reality show.
It's a soap opera. I was not interested. I didn't watch it, but my wife, who I consider to be a semi-normal human being, cared all sorts about that.
Yeah, I don't watch those shows, but people lost their mind. That's all anyone talked about.
You know what? There's a thing, and I guess I'm going to be the odd man out on this, to be honest. I don't understand how people lose their minds on the newest iPhone.
Yeah.
Every year, it does one little thing a little tiny bit better than it did last year and costs you $9,000 for the pleasure, and you line up.
Yeah, they camp out overnight.
You
2
talk to
days
the
in
news
advance.
guy that comes by and he says, "How long you been here?" And you say, 3 days, Max. It's very stupid, so stop doing it.
It is.
Well, you guys listening, what is something you think that people overreact to? People certainly lost their minds and overreacted to the eclipse.
Mm-hmm.
They went crazy. It was cool, but that cool?
It wasn't that
It
cool.
wasn't that cool. What is something people totally overreact to, in your opinion? Call now. Let us know. 800-252-1025. You can always text in 90627.
You know, here comes the sun, I think. Maybe the moon, not sure. But whatever it is, it's an eclipse and it's about to happen. And another thing that's going to happen, people are going to lose their minds. What is something that people overreact to? 1-800-252-1025 or text away to 90627.
Yeah, this week brings the century's longest total lunar eclipse. And the one that we just lost our minds for was it the only total solar eclipse that we were ever going to see or something? I don't even
Within
remember.
100 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Within your lifetime.
I don't even remember, but people lost their minds.
Yeah.
People totally overreacted and like ran out of buildings.
You know what? They lost their minds. It was like this. And unless you're the winner, I think you shouldn't lose your mind. That's the lottery for $500 million. You're not going to win it.
I bought a ticket. I lost my mind.
And did you lose $1?
No, I won the lottery, Danny.
Well, that's silly.
No,
I
you
did.
did not.
She's a big liar head.
I'm not a big liar head. I won $10.
Oh,
Oh, well, yeah, that's not nothing.
congratulations.
Thank you. I won the lottery. Something people totally overreact to. Andy in Tacoma, what do you think?
Good morning, constructors and you fine people.
Hey, what's up there, Andy?
You know, I was driving my Chevelle around yesterday, and I realized that people unrealistically lose their mind over Chick-fil-A.
Well, you're a little late to the dance. Yeah, we have decided that that's crazy. They have a security guard or off-duty cops for the line to get a chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
Seems crazy to me and to my friend Andy.
It's good chicken, but not line up down the street good chicken.
It's all
But-
good chicken, though.
But they have the same thing at Sonic.
They
chicken?
do. I mean, the new Sonics that have opened. Yeah, I mean, it seems
They
like
do?
that. It seems like
Yes.
that now. Anytime they open a new chain restaurant that they haven't had a location, then they have mass hysteria. People line up. People, the cars are down the road. It's crazy.
Well, so I admit I did overreact to going to Sonic to get the pickle slushie.
Yeah.
I lost my mind. And in hindsight, I was like, okay, I kind of overreacted, but it was awesome.
I want to say that I did not lose my mind, that I was perfectly reasonable, and then realized because I only got the hot dog.
Mm-hmm.
I drove 100 miles for a,
To
hot,
get a hot dog.
100 miles.
Yeah, and now you can just go to Renton.
Yeah, 40 miles.
800-252-1025 or text in 90627. We're asking, what is something you think people totally overreact to? Let's talk to David in Lake Stevens.
Hey, David.
Hey, good morning. I really think people go crazy for Black Friday. I mean, you're lining up in Thanksgiving for crying out loud.
No, I think you're right. I think David gets my vote as being 100% correct. And the video of it, it makes you like really depressed for humanity.
Let's all trample our fellow man to save $22 on a big screen TV.
And our kids. Don't
Yeah.
forget the kids get whacked in that every time.
Paul, what is something you think people overreact to?
I used to work in a call center, and people totally overreact to getting a phone call from a telemarketer. It's like they treat you like you insulted their family when really you just wanted to offer them a better deal on their home loan.
Yeah, but you kind of insulted their family.
Really? How so?
What time did you call?
All day. You call
All right,
all
so
day.
let's go with, here's the one I see and hear a lot. You call during dinner. It's
Sure.
a quality time.
Yeah.
We're sitting around. I got to get up, answer the phone, listen to some guy's pitch. No, you've insulted my family.
See, people overreact to that.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys.
People texting into 90627 also saying people lose their mind for Copper River salmon.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
good, but is it $35 a pound good?
I didn't know it was only that much, to be honest with you.
Well,
It's
when they
so
first,
expensive.
yeah, it's really expensive. But
Yeah.
and when it first comes in, it's even higher. It's like
Yeah.
$60 a pound the first couple of weeks.
And it's good, but I think that's a bit of an overreaction to pay that much for it.
Yeah.
Melody in Tacoma, what is something you think people totally overreact to?
Krispy Kreme donuts.
Well, I agree with you, but I don't know about my brethren here. Do you guys
Oh,
do you agree?
absolutely. People,
They're okay.
everybody reacts crazy to Krispy Kreme, and it's just an okay donut.
Okay, yeah, we
That is a
all
great
agree
donut.
that there's no reason to lose your mind over a donut.
But
Oh,
people do.
how about the cronut then?
People lost their minds over the cronut.
I wasn't even sure what it was. It was on a TV show or something, right?
No, it just went viral. It was a chef in New York City created a croissant and a donut combo and called it the cronut.
How didn't he call it the cronut? But anyway, I saw the line around the block for that thing. I mean, literally, it had to be an hour. I don't know how fast they could serve, but I thought you guys have lost your mind.
Yeah. Listeners also texting into 90627. People overreact to the royal weddings.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was guilty
yeah,
of
me too.
that.
In Seattle, a snowstorm or any amount of snow whatsoever, no matter how lightly it comes down, it's breaking news. Everybody, shuts down everything that's going on.
I'm with you. I live at the top of Queen Anne. The second it starts to snow, I think, well, I can't possibly get to work.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to retire.
Also from the text line, people lose their mind over getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
I don't know how many people are losing their minds about that. Paul, have you lost your mind? Are you trying to get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame?
I have not, no.
Then I think it's just me.
And also one last text, people lose their mind over Sarah. Everyone thinks she's so great, but really she's kind of dumb. Hashtag dumb Sarah.
I definitely think The Bachelor is something people overreact to, but I've noticed some restaurants in near your house, Danny and I will not name their names, that there is a line out the door every single weekend, and it's just okay. It's a diner.
Well,
It's
I
not
want to go.
wait
Oh,
in
yeah,
line
no.
for an hour. Good food.
You know what? I will tell you this. I agree and disagree that any day of the week aside from Saturday and Sunday, it's a fine little diner. You want to go in there, change their, they go regional every 3 months or so where they're from. And it's all fine food. But on the weekend, it is an hour wait to go to a diner. That seems crazy to me.
I don't get it.
Sometimes people see the line and will just get in a line no matter what. They just go, oh, there's obviously something going on here. There's a line out the door. I better get in it.
That is so the opposite of how I live my life.
Right, exactly.
Dave in Federal Way, what is something people totally overreact to?
Hey, Dave.
Half a day from Guam, guys.
What's up, buddy?
Morning.
Morning.
People lose their mind for the McRib. I think Spam is better than McRib.
Oh, he's so wrong.
He's wrong, but he's not that wrong. Spam done properly by somebody that can do it. Hey, Dave, I was going to ask you this. I think I was by the North Gate Mall. I was certainly going north on the 5, and there was a new Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu school.
No.
Do you know about that?
I think that's a Gracie Baja school, but if you guys want to come try 3 free classes, Gracie Baja Federal Way. Half a day from
Half a day from Guam, guys. All right, there you go.
Tori, what is something you think people totally overreact to?
Sneakers. There's always new releases of shoes, and people go crazy, and they'll spend upwards of like $400.
That's insane.
I
That's
know,
insane.
right?
That's
Wait,
insane.
are we talking about Danny?
No,
yeah, exactly.
these are some of my neat Vans, $50. None of
Yes.
my shoes from the new Danny are worth over $50.
Even better if it's on sale, though. If you just put, 20% off on anything or 40%
Yeah.
off on anything. No, it could be still way too much money and you don't need it, but you'll
Yep.
buy it because it's on sale.
Indeed.
All right, I think you may disagree with this one, but I think people lose their minds to a ridiculous percentage for Game of Thrones.
Well, you're just wrong.
So I'm not. I stand not corrected.
No.
I mean, now that they killed off the little guy.
Yeah,
They
why
did
even
kill
watch?
Tyrion. Stop misleading our listeners.
Hyperion? What's his name? It doesn't matter. He's dead anyway.
Hyperion Cersei. Yes, that's his name. Thanks for your calls and texts. We do have so much more on the way, including the news.
This traffic report is brought to you by Taco Del Mar. In Puyallup on 512 eastbound near 94th, we have an accident blocking the left lane and some really long delays on I-5 southbound as you make your way from Everett all the way down through into Seattle. Seattle's traffic, not awesome. The perfect fish taco at Seattle's own Taco Del Mar, awesome. Check out their daily deals right here in the Pacific Northwest. Enjoy tacos, burritos, burrito bowls, loaded nachos, taco salads, and more. Coastal Mexican cuisine at Taco Del Mar. Awesome. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Hey Seattle, you know AT&T gives you more for your thing, like sharing the love with your favorite person thing. And today you need to get to your local AT&T store. AT&T has deals and devices that will help you save more. You've probably been thinking about how you can get more from your devices, how you can get more from your plans. We are all so into our phones. Well, AT&T can help you get more from your devices. They can help you get more from your plans. I've been using AT&T for years. They're always on top of all the latest in wireless. And, you know, we use it now for entertainment more than ever. So go into a local AT&T store, and while you're there, ask how you can get a smartphone on them. The knowledgeable reps can show you all the latest devices. They can tell you about all the different plans, all to help you get more from those devices. AT&T has something to meet all of your needs, and it's all under the same roof. When you go in there, find out how to get a smartphone for yourself and then one for somebody else on them. AT&T, more for your thing. That's our thing.
This weather report is brought to you by Washington State Department of Licensing. It's currently 64 in downtown Seattle. Temperatures are going to be rising today. We'll be seeing highs in the low 90s with clear and sunny skies. The rest of the week is looking fairly similar. This weekend we'll see highs in the upper 80s to low 90s. Did you know most people don't have to go into the driver's license office? Now you can renew and update your license online at dol.wa.gov. Save the trip, skip the line, save time, and go online instead. Just log on to dol.wa.gov. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
News is brought to you by Car Pros Rent and Kia. 2 adults and 3 juveniles have been arrested after a deadly double shooting Tuesday night in Tacoma. Police and medics responded to Portland Avenue about 8 p.m. after getting calls about multiple shots fired. A man was lying down in the street with a gunshot wound. They also found a man in his 20s injured. They tried to revive him, but both of those men did die.
Wow.
Now, they have arrested a man, a woman, a juvenile female, and 2 juvenile males. All 5 arrested and booked for investigation of second-degree murder.
Are they one big family? Is it the Brady Bunch of murder?
Yeah, they didn't disclose their names, so we
Wow.
don't know if they were a family or is one 18 and the others are 16.
I don't know. It's all fairly tragic.
Yeah, it's a terrible story. Firefighters responded to a 2-alarm fire at a strip mall in Kent early this morning. This was on the 100 block of South Central. This happened just about 3 a.m. They were able to knock the fire down in a few hours. They are still monitoring hot spots. They are entering the building, though. This is a strip mall home to a pawn shop, auto body, and glass repair shops. And
All of those things can blow up, I think.
Yeah.
If pressed and the right amount of heat or whatever it would take, who knows what's in a pawn shop besides people's guitars? I don't know why they're so full of those. But yeah, that seems all very dangerous.
Yes, very. A little girl who lost her beloved stuffed lion in the Oregon backcountry was reunited with her favorite stuffed animal thanks to a very nice hiker named Holly. So this woman, Holly Spayman, ran into this little stuffed lion. And she thought, that's weird. Why is there a stuffed lion out here on the trail?
That's what I'd have thought.
Well, it turns out a 7-year-old named Adriana had gone hiking on Broken Top Trail, and she dropped her favorite stuffed animal, didn't know she dropped it, and they kept on hiking. Well, she took to social media and said, does anybody recognize this little lion? And it was so successful, the family contacted her.
Oh, so somebody's name was Holly, I believe. It doesn't matter. But they found it and already knew it was this person's?
Holly is the hiker.
Right.
The 7-year-old is Adriana. And Holly took to social media and said, does anyone recognize this
Not
lion?
the kid. All right.
And then people shared it and, passed it along from friend to friend. And finally somebody said, oh, I recognize that.
Yep. That's my kid's toy.
Yeah.
So they got together and reunited, and it feels so good.
Oh, I'm touched.
I mean, I blame the kid, right?
Oh, she's going to make such a terrible mother.
How important is this thing?
I don't even know that I dropped my lion / my child.
Right.
That's what's happening in your future, lady.
The thing that is most important in my life, I don't know that I dropped it.
So Jelly Bean, I'm pretty sure, Paul, you told us yesterday you've had to replace one of her stuffed animals 8 times.
Yeah,
She keeps losing it.
Stuffed seahorse. His name is Stevie. But yeah, it's the same thing. Has to sleep with it every night, but when she goes to bed, she has no idea where it is.
I would like to say something in Jelly Bean's defense.
Yeah?
What is Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. Anybody that can do that is okay with me.
All I'm saying is if Jelly Bean can't keep her eye on Stevie the seahorse.
Oh, no, they're all rotten kids. I'm not saying my kid's not
go on.
along with them.
President Donald Trump was recorded by his longtime personal lawyer discussing buying the rights to a Playboy model's story about an affair she claims to have had with Donald Trump. This audio was recorded in 2016 and was then provided to CNN by a man who represents Donald Trump's former attorney, Michael Cohen. It was played on CNN, And we would play the audio for you, but you really can't understand it.
Yeah. I've got a theory on this that just came to me this second. And that is they released this tape on purpose because it's nothing. He may or may not admit to an affair with a Playboy model a decade ago.
Yeah.
It's a non-story. What it does, it lets everybody know, oh, Mike really has tapes. He's not kidding around. There are tapes, and he'll take them to the news. That's what's happening there.
It also gets you to stop talking about the whole Russia thing and what happened in Helsinki, you know?
So you think they're on the same team then, still?
Yeah, with the lawyer, yeah.
The guy that's releasing tapes
Yeah.
of a client?
Yeah.
Oh, I disagree. But
Because
I like
it's
your
a
stuff.
nothing tape.
Well, Rudy Giuliani did provide a transcript and said this does properly reflect the conversation where it is what financing Trump says. Well, we'll have to pay with cash. And his lawyer says, no, check. So it has to be done by check. Don't pay with cash. So Giuliani says, yes, that is true. That's what it is. $150,000 went to this woman to stop talking about the affair.
Does none of this money actually buy any silence at all?
No,
Everybody's talking. He gave what's her face the not the prostitute, same thing in my book, the porn star
Stormy Daniels.
He gave her $130,000 to shut up. She won't stop talking. This Playboy model, $150,000. Nobody's stopping talking.
One winning
Give me
lottery-
$150,000 to shut up, and
I'd
you know what
love
I'll
to.
do?
Keep talking.
Check, because that's what I'd do.
One winning ticket was sold for the huge Mega Millions jackpot last night. If you bought your ticket in San Jose,
Oh, I did not.
it could be you.
All right.
Did you buy your ticket to San Jose?
I did not.
I saw something kind of interesting on the treadmill at 4 a.m. I hope you're all proud of me every day. God,
We are, man.
Thank you, dear. But the lady and the guy were discussing the lottery,
Yeah.
and she said, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Do you think there's a guy in California that doesn't know he won $500 million?
Oh, yeah.
I never thought. That's interesting, man. You're still broke for another 3 hours.
$522 million. Winning numbers 1, 2, 4, 19, 29. Mega ball of 20.
And I just did a quick pick, but those are my numbers. That's if only I would have played my numbers.
It was purchased at Ernie's Liquors in San Jose. And so this person gets $522 million. There were also 6 $1 million winners. Those
I'll
were
take
sold
that.
in Arizona, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, and 2 in New Jersey. So
Does Ernie get anything for that $522 million being
yeah.
sold in his store?
Well,
yeah.
it depends on what state. I think in California he does.
California,
You're
he
right.
does.
But in a lot of places now you get nothing for
Really?
selling the ticket.
And so whoever won, what they get is brought down a little by those other big winners.
Sure.
But what are we talking? It's down $8 million. That's like nothing in the grand
in
scheme.
the grand scheme. I wondered something about this morning and last night. If I'd have won or if you guys would have won, you get what? Let's say you get $300 million.
Mm-hmm.
Do you immediately, let's say we all agree we're going to come to work and
Yeah.
do our jobs. Is that enough money we have to hire security right away? People know where we are. We have $300 million.
You certainly
Are
need
you a
to
different man?
change your phone number so like the relatives aren't reaching out.
Well, they'll find me, those bastards. But we don't just turn our lives. See, I think I check into the Four Seasons and tell them, don't let anybody with a gun in.
Well, that's smart.
A multimillionaire liquor heiress was among 4 people arrested yesterday.
Oh, that's not what she got the money for.
On charges ranging from sex trafficking to extortion in connection with the NXIVM sex slave cult
Yeah.
that Smallville actress Allison Mack allegedly helped run. Claire Bronfman, Kathy Russell, Lauren Salzman, and Nancy Salzman were all arrested yesterday. Bronfman is the heiress to the Seagram's liquor fortune. She is also allegedly one of NXIVM's chief financial backers. So this is the ring that is women who were recruited and then sex slaves under the guise of a women's self-help organization. Members were branded. They were extorted with sensitive material like naked photos. And they said what they did to these women was pretty awful. A lot of sex trafficking. There was money laundering, forced labor. And now this woman who's a bazillionaire.
Right. She is a bazillionaire, too.
One of the ringleaders.
If I'm not mistaken, the Seagrams that still exist are one of the richest families in Canada. But I'm not positive of that, but I believe that.
Well, she was arrested here in the United States. I don't know anything about this woman other than she's loaded and
most of the time, I would imagine.
A little crazy.
Yeah.
A Massachusetts man apparently learned the hard way that the judgment-free zone, which is a philosophy at Planet Fitness, only goes so far. 34-year-old Eric Stogno went to Planet Fitness and was walking around naked.
Yeah.
When police arrived, he was naked doing yoga positions.
Ew, gross.
And they
His
said,
downward dog is the most disgusting thing I ever saw.
he said, well, I thought this was a judgment-free zone. And they said, that does not mean you can go naked.
Yeah, he's full of crap. It's not what he thought at all. He wanted to go in and do that, and he thought he might not have to go to jail if he plays the I misunderstood. It's in your slogan. Because here's the thing, you can't be naked whether you're fat or thin. The whole thing of that gym is you can be fat all day long. We'll never say anything to you. It's judgment-free. Doesn't mean you can be naked. I'm pretty sure of that.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can't ride the stationary bike if you are.
Ew. He was charged with indecent exposure, lewdness, and disorderly conduct. Well, get ready, Derek. Your internet infatuation is returning. April, the giraffe, whose pregnancy was an internet sensation, followed by millions, including Derek.
Do we know who the dad is? Derek.
Yes. She is pregnant again.
Oh, Derek.
I don't think Derek's the dad of the.
I
baby
never said
giraffe.
Derek was the dad, but I think Derek's the dad.
April's pregnancy drew more than 232 million YouTube live views during her 7-week span of being pregnant. Now, it's the
They're
same
pregnant for 7 weeks?
during the 7-week span before she gave birth.
Oh,
So
it's going, wow, that's not long enough.
they're pregnant for a long time, but they were like, all right, she's having a baby.
Right.
And every day I'd go into Derek's studio. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? He's like, I'm watching April. I don't know why he sounds like that.
Yeah.
I'm watching April.
Nope, that's me.
And she never gave birth. It took forever, 7 weeks. People were watching. Millions of people were watching. She is pregnant again.
Well, she's a tramp.
Derek, are you going to be as riveted, or is it kind of a one and done on the giraffes?
I'm watching.
You watching right now?
Yeah.
For the whole, it's 15 months is the gestation period for a giraffe. Are you going to watch the whole 15 months?
I mean, if it's up for 15 months, why not?
You should take up elephants. Their gestation period is 22 months.
Yeah.
You'd love that.
That's not that long, though, for the giraffes because they got to learn to walk inside there so that right when they pop out, they walk and run around.
And mostly they need to learn to tumble in there, too.
Yeah.
AprilTheGiraffe.com. And it's the same dad as the same dad as the last one.
Or
that,
so she says. Why does it have zebra stripes?
How is it that giraffes even exist? Like that they're a real thing?
They're the craziest thing in the
Like
whole world.
a unicorn doesn't exist, but that's not that hard to believe. It's just a horse with a horn. This is like a weird like leopard zebra thing with a 40-foot long neck. How
It
does a
is
giraffe
That's
freak
a
of
exist?
nature.
semi-accurate description of what's happening here. Yeah, they're pregnant for 9 years and have an 8-foot neck. No, but close. I get what you mean.
Do you ever look at an alligator or a crocodile and think, how does that exist? It looks like a dinosaur.
Yeah, it really does.
I thought the second part, they look like a dinosaur, but I think, how do you kill it? Of course they exist. They're going to be here last.
What did Derek call his favorite pet? The raccoon?
The trash panda, which I thought
Yeah,
was
right.
friggin' genius. I call him a genius. He doesn't even look up. Look at him, little bastard. Not too
'Cause he
late.
knows.
Too good for
He
you.
knows.
Yeah.
Yelp made a big announcement. Yelp are now going to offer users more information when it comes to choosing where to eat. The review app Yelp, which many turn to for suggestions on restaurants and services,
I do.
is adding health inspection scores to its restaurant pages.
All right.
So oftentimes you wonder, well, how is that restaurant? I don't want to go there and look at the smiley faces or sad faces on the window. How are they? So you could put in your favorite restaurant, Joe's Kitchen, and it'll say what the local inspector value entry specification is. So all of the different health inspections, all that info will be up.
In Los Angeles, when I lived there, they started that 20 years ago or something, and it was an A, B, C, or even a D. And D, they're going to board you up. And you have to put it in display at the front door. They have to see it before that they come in. Here we have excellent, good,
fair.
Okay, I stopped carrying it. Like, it still has a smiley face.
Not
Like
the
when you
needs
get
to
down to
improve.
sucks, needs to improve doesn't have a smiley face.
Ooh. And
I'm
I
still
don't go
bugged.
into a needs to improve. That means they failed to. And they've got 4 or 6 months to do it again. But it's the same thing here where it's got to be front and center when you walk in the door.
Right.
But
Although they're so not everywhere. Like in LA, literally, they're everywhere. If you had a business that served donuts, you had to have one of these things. Here, they seem to be kind of haphazardly thrown out there.
I think it's how big you are that I would say
Well, then I got
90%
one.
of restaurants have them here. But this is a pretty big deal for Yelp. You know, if you are, say, somebody who has a needs to improve,
Right.
you're probably not real happy that Yelp is going to be putting that up.
Absolutely not.
But good for consumers.
Yeah, I love me some Yelp when it comes. That's all. And when I say I use it for, I don't use it at all. My wife looks up how far they're. And I guess we don't go if they're under 3 stars out of a 5-star rating.
Oh, I would never go to under 3 stars. No way. But, you know, this is more information for consumers, which most people think is a good thing.
Yep.
A Pennsylvania man has been charged with driving under the influence just before midnight. The police saw something whiz right by them.
Ew.
They said,
Don't get that on you, officer.
Is that a go-kart? Yep, that looks like a go-kart to me. They pulled over 31-year-old Nicholas Lardieri and realized he was drunk. Guess what you can't do while drunk?
Drive a go-kart.
Drive a go-kart.
Now, was it one of those crazy professional ones that go 120 miles an hour and your butt's an inch from the ground?
Yeah.
I do not have the specifications on how fast the go-kart was going.
Well,
Or how far your butt is from the ground.
When the cop says it went whizzing by, I'm going to assume it was one of those.
Yeah. And I thought you could only drive those things drunk.
Is that what you thought?
Yeah, like generally not out on the public streets, but I thought you could only drive them drunk.
I got to tell you, they are not fun about that. When
No?
you go to rent that stuff, I jumped out of a plane drunk one time, and I never heard the end of it. People with their business and their insurance, they're just not funny.
A huge fire broke out 4:20 on Monday at a marijuana growing operation.
No way.
In Greenfield.
I'm sitting there reserving stupid jokes for the right setup, and they're doing them by themselves.
Every fire department in the city responds to it.
It's like, oh, the irony. The marijuana company up in smoke.
Was that the name of it?
No.
Oh,
that's just
because that was
what happens
that
there.
was a Cheech and Chong movie, Up in Smoke.
Right,
Matter of fact, 2 movies. So I thought maybe they named it after that.
No, they were just making jokes because they write themselves. A motorcyclist who ran from police at 147 miles per hour found out the hard way that you shouldn't be driving that fast. Andrew Schroedermeyer was spotted by police after midnight going 85 in a 55. This is Fargo, North Dakota. He thought to himself, oh, heck, I'm in trouble. I bet I can outrace them. So he went faster and faster. 147 miles per hour.
It's pretty fast.
Well, the North Dakota Highway Patrol continued to follow him, and then he ran out of gas.
That's the downside of some of the motorcycle. Like my Harley Davidson, I have a small one, a Sportster. It had 100 miles, and that was that. So you'd go to do any road trip, you're the guy pulling over all the time. I gotta get some gas.
4.5 gallon tank, which did not last long, going 147 miles per hour. His motorcycle was impounded, and he was taken to the pokey.
Yeah, where he was impounded.
We were talking about the pickle-flavored slushy from Sonic earlier. Pickled flavored things are very popular right now. KFC has the pickle fried chicken.
Yeah, pickle juice fried chicken.
And now Archie McPhee, the Seattle-based retailer, is selling pickle-flavored candy canes.
Where? I was there yesterday.
You must
Although
have
I
looked
maybe
hard
missed
enough.
them. I wouldn't have been. Yeah, I wasn't looking for those. Okay.
It shows on the box a Santa hat wearing pickle, and it's pickle candy canes, dill pickle flavor. They want you to know they're very popular, so much so that on Archie McPhee's website, you can only order 5 units per customer.
Yeah, they have good stuff. Like you think they just have joke stuff and fake barf and things like that. But I got for Dante as a gift Edgar Allan Poe sweater, long sleeve sweater, like the coolest thing. And then he bought a gift bag, a surprise gift bag, and I thought it was a stupid move to do. It was like $8 top. There must have been $50 worth of stuff in there,
wow.
including fake vomit.
Nice.
News brought to you by Car Pros Rent and Kia. We've got so much more to go. Big music news today. A lot going on in entertainment, plus all your latest sports.
This traffic report is brought to you by BECU. We do still have a lot of delays on I-5 southbound as you head from Alderwood all the way through down into Seattle, and on 405 southbound, you're going to hit some bad traffic between the interchange at I-5 and Highway 520. As a member-owned not-for-profit credit union, BECU puts the profits of your business first. To learn more about how BECU can help your business grow, make an appointment to meet with a BECU consultant at becu.org/business. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Starting with music news, Green Day frontman Billy Joe Armstrong has teamed up with Gibson to create a new signature Les Paul Jr. guitar. The model will come in 3 finishes: maraschino cherry, sonic blue, and ebony. So this has a 2-tone design, and it's intended to be a blank canvas for players to customize as they see fit.
So you buy it like online and say add this color to that?
No, this is something being sold through Gibson.com, and he said if a kid wants to put a sticker on it or carve on it or paint it, it's up to them. It's a blank canvas for them to be the artist.
All right. And why is it a junior?
For kids.
That's what I wonder, because I always thought my hands were too small. They're not. People can, my guitar teacher, he was 6'7", and he was too big. I thought, nope, he could do it perfectly. So that's smart marketing.
I don't know what the size difference is for a junior, but, like you said, a neck can seem hard, like to play a C or an F sharp or something.
All of those seem hard to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they can be because or some of the B chords, like the way you're manipulating your fingers seems very unnatural. Like, what if this neck was smaller? But for a kid whose hands really are that much smaller, plus the body, I think, has got to be a good size shorter. Well, if you're a Green Day fan and you would like to get this, $1,399.
Nothing junior about that.
No.
That's full-on adult prices.
Gibson.com. That's a pricey guitar for sure. Kraftwerk fans are used to hearing otherworldly tunes from the German electronic music pioneers, but they took it to the next level during a gig in Stuttgart. Video was posted by the European Space Agency that shows German astronaut Alexander Gerst dropping in for a live performance with the band from the International Space Station.
Okay, super cool.
Using a tablet computer with a virtual synthesizer, this astronaut played a duet of Kraftwerk's 1978 song Space Lab.
Oh, wow.
How long has Kraftwerk been together?
Right? Much longer than I think anybody really realized. So all these people are at the Kraftwerk concert. They're like, all right. And then all of a sudden a screen shows
a Gerst musician.
This dude in outer
Guest
space.
Right. Oh, I get it.
Playing a duet with the band. Pretty crazy. There was a plan for American astronaut Ron McNair to play saxophone from orbit with a musician named Jean-Michel Jarre, but he is one of the people who died in the Challenger tragedy and never had a chance to do so. Demi Lovato is currently in the hospital recovering from a drug overdose. In wake of this, Beat Shazam has decided not to air the episode she just taped.
What is a Beat Shazam?
Beat Shazam is that new show with, what's the super funny guy? Jamie Foxx?
Yeah.
It's like a Name That Tune kind of show.
Yep.
On Fox.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Shazam is a service that you use to identify a song.
Right.
It's a cell phone app that'll
I've seen
identify songs, yeah.
So you need to be faster than Shazam. And
Not a bad premise.
Yeah.
Not a bad setup at all.
So she had done a guest appearance. It was taped back in December. She's hanging out with Jamie Foxx. Everything's great. But considering she overdosed last night, they said this is probably not the best time to air this episode.
Well, then don't air it today, but don't add to this kid's woes by not airing the show she's probably very good on. Just give it 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They didn't say when, but no, it's supposed to air this week, and that is not happening. Actually, you know what it was? What day is today? Wednesday? Yeah, this was supposed to air last night.
Yeah, you can't do that. Well, what time did she start ODing?
I
think the news was out last night. so
Last night?
It must have been the night before that she actually.
Yeah,
OD'd.
give it a couple of weeks, then air her thing. I'm more interested in her than I ever was, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
She's talented. She's
Yeah.
a really, really talented singer. She was supposed to be performing in Atlantic City tomorrow night. That concert has been canceled.
Yeah. Although everybody I know who's OD'd, and it's a bunch of people, up and around pretty fast. If you didn't do any weird organ damage or anything like that, you OD'd, you got some bed rest, you got some food, you got some soup in you and stuff like that, you're up and around within a day, from my experience.
Right, but that doesn't mean you go back to playing a concert. It should mean in her case, with her repeated drug and mental health issues, going to get some treatment.
She's got to go back to get some treatment.
Yeah.
Although she's a cutter, she's got a bunch of different issues. And I don't, these rehabs that specialize in everything. I cut myself, I drink too much, I take drugs, I love my dog a little too much, whatever it is. I don't believe that you can go in there and pay $75,000 and get cured of that stuff.
Well, and she's bipolar on top of it. So who's to say she wasn't off her meds or something? She clearly needs some sort of help because she overdosed. And by the way, they did find her yesterday before noon, which is why Shazam, the makers of Fox, the network, decided not to air the episode last night.
Still a good idea for a show. Not the ODing part. That,
It's pretty good. You should try watching it.
I will.
Donald Trump's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame has been destroyed. And no, this is not a repeat story. It's in bad shape. Somebody took a pickaxe to it.
Yeah, I saw it. And I'm assuming this guy was in some kind of disguise because there's nothing but it's either Hollywood or Sunset Boulevard. I forget which. But every store has cameras to see who vandalized them last.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could be dressed as a superhero.
Right. You could.
Wearing a costume.
But the last guy who vandalized it, he did it in broad daylight with people standing around. Yeah.
In this case, they have not identified the perpetrator, but they did find the pickaxe. So they're probably looking to see if there are any fingerprints. They're going to go through all the surveillance video. We'll see if the perpetrator does get caught. Hot off of Deadpool 2, David Leitch is in talks to direct a remake of the 1973 martial arts classic, Enter the Dragon.
Okay, I'm in line right now to get my tickets.
You don't think it's sacrilegious?
No. Well, I don't know yet. Unless, if the guy's playing the same character, then I didn't think about this when I got all excited. That might bother me.
Or if it sucks. You can't remake the movie.
Enter the Dragon kind of sucked.
Yeah, but you can't make a bad remake of that movie.
No, but you can.
Well, this is the movie that really started and cemented Bruce Lee's iconic status. The original was a global hit out of Hong Kong, and it was, it'll be the 45th, it just was the 45th anniversary of his death, July 20th, 1973. And this is about a Shaolin martial artist who is pressed to enter a key karate tournament on the island owned by the secretive Han.
Yeah.
All sound familiar?
Han's hand, is made of knives.
Ooh.
Oh.
No word on who would star in this.
I'll do it.
I'm surprised you didn't get the call yet,
Me
Danny.
too. They're probably saving it as a surprise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. ABC will wait until mid-October to premiere its Tuesday night lineup, which will be led by the Roseanne spinoff, The Connors. Yesterday, they revealed the premiere dates for all of its new fall season. On September 24th, we'll get Dancing with the Stars, The Good Doctor. Then on the 27th, we get Grey's Anatomy. And people are like, okay, where is it? Where is it? You'll have to wait till October 16th.
Wow.
It's weird to call it a spinoff because all they did was spin off Roseanne. It's the same show, just different name, and she's gone.
That's kind of what spinoffs are, really. You keep it as close to the thing as you can. I say, even with what's-his-face, the big guy?
John Goodman,
who I love.
Yeah.
I say disaster without actually Roseanne on it.
Yeah, I'll give it a chance, though.
I'll give it a chance.
Georgia state lawmaker Jason Spencer has announced his resignation from public office after what he did on Sacha Baron Cohen's new show, Who is America? Well, you can see the clip. Sacha Baron Cohen is posing as an Israeli anti-terrorism expert named Captain Aaron Morad. He leads this Georgia state lawmaker, Jason Spencer, to believe he was shooting a martial arts lesson. In this segment, Sacha Baron Cohen says, here's how to attract attention. In America, there's a forbidden word. This politician then screams that N-word over and over and then pulls his pants down.
What? See, when I read this, because I didn't see this one on TV, when I read this, I thought, well, I want Sacha Baron Cohen killed.
Yeah.
How can you continually affect people like this? But I didn't know he pulled his pants down.
Pulled his pants
down. That seems voluntary to me.
That's because Sacha Baron Cohen told him ISIS are afraid of homosexuals, so you can use your backside to intimidate ISIS. So this Georgia state lawmaker pulled his pants down and yelled the N-word.
See, here's the thing. If it was on a sitcom, it seems hysterical. on a reality base. That guy's got to go home to his wife and kids. He's got to quit his job, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
He just quit his job.
I just it seems too much to me.
He did a segment with that same character where he convinced multiple politicians to endorse a program to give 3- and 4-year-olds assault rifles in preschools to teach kids how to use assault rifles and arm them.
A rough one.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, all these politicians they were shooting like a promotional video for it. And they looked right in the camera.
The best
and said,
part of it, though, they're looking in the camera, and this one guy is reading. You can see he's reading a teleprompter, and he's like, and then you'll teach the kids about the Cardi B and the Wiz Khalifa. And he's woven into what he's supposed to be reading are all the hot rappers' names.
Right.
The dude had no idea what he was saying.
Yeah.
Endorsing giving guns to 3-year-olds.
Yeah, it all seems incredibly rough to me.
Let's take a look at sports.
Sports
brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. That's 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Tough one for the Seattle Mariners. They lost to the San Francisco Giants by a score of 4-3. They'll turn it around today. Giants, again, playing the Mariners. First pitch is at 1:10. Mike Leake on the mound versus Derek Holland. Today, the San Jose Earthquakes have a match with the Seattle Sounders, 7:30 time for that. Yesterday, the Storm defeated the Indiana Fever. Up next for them, they face the Phoenix Mercury next Tuesday. And Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson, ranked number 6 among quarterbacks in the league.
Wow, that's pretty good.
According to NFL quarterback tier rankings announced by ESPN, he is listed as a tier 2 quarterback with a 1.72 tier average, the 6th highest amongst quarterbacks. Tier 2, he is below Matt Ryan, but above Matthew Stafford, Phillip Rivers, and Carson Wentz. Tier 1 quarterbacks went to Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, and Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
So 6 is better than 7.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, he took us to 2 Super Bowls, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, he's pretty good.
Well, and it bodes well because we, of course, missed playoffs for the first time in 6 years, and there's thinking, okay, he's got skills. It won't happen again.
Right.
The Philadelphia Orchestra has acquired a Super Bowl champion. Eagles center Jason Kelsey will play baritone saxophone with the orchestra to benefit the team's autism challenge. The music will be shot for NFL Films, and it turns out this guy is a really good saxophone player.
You would hope so.
And he apparently started playing saxophone in high school. Jason Kelsey joining the orchestra.
Wow. I got to tell you, for a city full of absolute thugs, their art program and music and things like that and museums, pretty great in Philadelphia.
Todd Gurley, the Rams running back, is finalizing a 4-year, $60 million contract, according to ESPN. And sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys at 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Danny, you will be out at Snoqualmie Casino Friday night.
I will. I'm hanging out there from, I think, 7 to 9.
Yep. It's part of their Free Concert Friday series, which is happening
Free Concert Friday.
all summer long. Friday night's free show in Snoqualmie Casino's Mountain View Plaza is Count 77, featuring the History Channel's Counting Cars. This is the star, Danny, the Count Coker.
Yeah.
You can get all the info at snocasino.com. Friday night, the Dooch Man.
That would be me.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, got another big show coming up, don't we? At 7:20, your tickets to Seafair. At 7:50, a filthy forecast, and that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Can't wait for that.
Join us tomorrow.
Go tips. All right. Let's see. Speaking of tips, no.
Sorry, one other thing.
Yeah.
Forgot about the major announcement at 8 o'clock tomorrow.
8 o'clock tomorrow. Big announcement.
Big announcement
morning.
tomorrow.
8 o'clock.
Not now. I'd love to make it right now.
You can't.
Can't do it.
You don't even know what it is.
know what it is, do you?
No, I don't know what
hide
it
it
is.
from
But
you.
let me
It's a
just say
big
this.
party.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It is.
It's
yeah.
what? Yeah.
It's a big party. Everybody's invited, and it's free.
Free. Wow. Why aren't I going?
But we're
Am I
gonna,
going?
Yeah, you're going.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. All right.
Find out tomorrow at 8 o'clock, Danny.
All right, so be there. Hey, you know who's coming up next is my buddy Steve Slayton. He's going to walk in this room and he's going to play a lot of classic rock and roll for you because that's the way he rolls. We should get out of his way, so bye.